Hey guys, and welcome to King of the Hill. We're back. It has been a long time since we did a King of the Hill stream, so, I got inspiration. I think I saw someone do a King of the Hill the other day. I was like, you know what? I need to bring those back. So we have indeed, I believe this is King of the Hill at number 12, and we have 6 competitors lined up fighting over a slightly wonky crown and a dodgy looking hill. Should be some good fun indeed. Up in round 1, we do have Noob for Life up against Red Legion, and we were going to have Happy Puppy here. And welcome to King of the Hill. We're back. Bam. There we go. Looks like my own stream was playing back to me there. But we have a really cool list of players. So we did have Happy Puppy, but she's going to be a little bit late. So we're going to be starting off with Red Legion, Noob for Life, Consular Rome, Green, and Ice Power. And whenever Happy Puppy gets back, we'll squeeze her in as well. So should be some good fun. Hope you guys are doing all good today. Letting these guys sort out their matchups. Awesome. So it's gents or blinds for round 1. So the main idea of King of the Hill, obviously, is to get the longest win streak possible, but also to be king at the end. Kings never die. They'll be remembered, and a legendary streak. But you want to be alive at the end of a stream, realistically. So, the earlier you start in a stream like this, the better chance you have of getting that long streak, and the later you start, the better chance you do of becoming crowned at the end of the whole event. So, it should be some good stuff overall. Round 1 is going to be gentleman picks or blind picks. Looks like they are doing Lizardmen vs High Elves, I believe, on Troll Country here, which is a small map, so I think that certainly evens out the playing field quite nicely in the favour of the Lizardmen there. But as we go on, the king will be picking 3 factions, his opponent will be banning 1 and picking 1 of himself, and the king will be picking 1 of his 2 remaining factions left. I'm just going to try and sort out chat on my phone here. It looks like it's hidden from me for the moment, so I can't see any of your beautiful faces, which does indeed suck. No! Why you do this? Let's switch to the new YouTube, see if that works. Otherwise I'll have to pop out and in between you guys. Okay. Looks like it's loading up now. Come on stream, I believe in you. These YouTube apps are always so messy. So messy. Yeah. Work, goddamn you. Sorry about this, guys. Trying to sort out in the background. Hey, I see chat. What's up? Okay, just got here. The first one experience is the streamer multiplayer on screen. Interesting. Believe me, glad I have a blank profile pic. My face and the word beauty do not get along. Hey man, I'm sure it's not that bad still. Right, sorry about the echo there, guys. Looks like we are all up and running now. The chat's now working back on my phone. So I'm here. A-Move, you were not on the list, but I can add you to the end if you think you can make it in time. I know you are currently doing an A-Move versus the World stream over on Aristodemo's Twitch. But yes, hopefully everything should be up and running. We are growing quickly. It is indeed. Like the last couple of weeks, we've gained quite a lot of subs, so welcome to anyone who is joining. Hope you do enjoy and stick around. Almost to 600 subs. Indeed, Ronan. Indeed. I think Ronan back on here soon. Haven't had him involved in a little while. But, yeah. We do also have another stream coming up this Thursday, but I'm going to be chilling out a little bit with the streams this week. As, over the next 2 weeks, basically, I've taken some time off work, but I need to get the final edit of a book I'm writing done, basically. So, we've got the 2 weeks off, but we'll still be streaming now and again, hopefully. And this Thursday, we are going to be doing the Death Before Dishonor Season 4, the final qualifier, so qualifier number 4, as competitors battle out to try and get a, place in the finals up against Anticity, Noob for Life, and Talaxland Soothsayer. What's up, Darth Pendragon? How's it going, man? Good. Look at these dino boys. This is looking some good stuff. So for Noob for Life and his forces of the dinosaurs here, in the front line he does have Saurus Warriors with shields, which is a pretty decent pick overall. They're Chew-Through Spearmen and Cheap Chaff. I wonder how they do pair up against Silver and Guard, although it looks like he's not going to be facing any of those. For his lord here, bouncing around, we have a cheap and cheerful Saurus Old Blood. He's going to be on top of a cold one here, not a horned one, which I'm a little disappointed about. But he, of course, is going to be bringing the standard Amulet of Itzel for that damage resistance, and the Horn of Kygor, buffing nearby troops with plus 24 melee attack. the leadership and charge bonus could be pretty nice as well. We have a Skink Priest of Beast coming in with just the Manticore summon. I quite like doing this as well. You're basically guaranteed to get all your Winds of Magic off, which is normally some good value. Bringing in Flock of Doom and stuff can be nice as well. Looks like it's gone Dino heavy. We have 2 Feral Stegodons in the back line here, as well as a Gary, which is a Bastillon with a solar engine. Interesting choice overall. There's a Silver and Guard would do decent work here, and you've got to get a little bit careful of all the Archfire coming in. There are some Skinks as well, Skink cohorts with Javelins. We'll see where they're deployed in just a second. Over on the left-hand flank, we have Horned Ones. What is this madness? New for life, a true champ of the people here. Bring in Horned One Riders, a cav unit I hold dearly close to my heart. They're very, very cool looking, and they do decent damage overall, both against enemy cav and infantry and so forth, but they're very expensive for a unit which does have Rampage. And we have some Cold One Riders on the other flank, so nice fast moving Dino build. Should be some good fun to see how he pulls this off. Now, for the forces of Red Legion here, representing the Extreme Meme team, here's a mixture of White Lines of Chase and Spearmen dotted through the front line. White Lines will trade pretty decent up against Saurus Warriors, managing to break through their thick and tough, scaly skin, of course. And Spearmen, cheap and cheerful, but can hold the line, soak up damage quite effectively, and of course they do come with that bonus versus large. We have 2 units of Silver Helms, it looks like, in Deep Reserve here, and double Sisters of Avalon. And this is going to be very, very scary. If they can focus down either the Bastillodon or the Feral Stegodon, those guys are going to melt in a matter of seconds. I'm assuming this is a Light Wizard down here. No, we have a Mage of Life here, coming with Earthblood and Regrowth. Regrowth certainly going to be useful with this Princess up on top of her Mighty Dragon, but no nets here to spin in those big dinosaurs, which I do worry for this build a little bit, that the big dinosaurs are just going to, ignore the front line, push all the way through, hop on top of the sisters, and this poor Princess is going to have to be very busy jumping around, trying to protect both these units. But she is going to be bringing, it looks like, most of her buffs. Volley of High Arrows, Talisman of Loic, which I haven't actually seen before, so plus 30% base weapon damage and plus 24 melee attack, and a Star Dragon Breath as well. So none of the new units, it looks like, unfortunately, but still some pretty cool stuff overall. So the Halves are going to be advancing here. Nice close quarters map, Troll Country, and in tradition we start Old King and Hills with this map, of course. And it looks like Lisbon going to want to play this relatively defensively, perhaps just moving up the Bastillodon and getting a few shots in. Let's see, what's the range on this bad boy? 240 versus the 180 on the Sisters of Avalon. So the Lizman can take their time if they want and start sniping out those nice and juicy targets. Although it could be a good shout here to start obliterating the Mage of Life where possible. In comes the Solar Blast. Looks like the first one was a bit of a miss, but Gary's just getting in his sights, of course. Let's see, let's see. Okay, just let me know if the echo's still there. So I just saw a Stormrunner put echo down. Hopefully the echo has gone. As another blast does come in here, it looks like it catches the Sisters of Avalon this time, killing 5 models, which is certainly no small feat. And in comes, the knockoff arrows of Kernos here, doing some pretty decent damage up against Gary here, who's going to be falling back behind this tasty line of Saurus Warriors, who will mulch through these Spearmen very quickly. And they'll probably lose to White Lines of Chase in a vacuum, but with big Dino support, it's going to be tough. These Sisters are going to be very, very busy indeed. Horned Ones are currently chilling up on the flanks. They can decimate Silver Helms if they want, and it looks like they're going to be moving forward as well, coming in for a nice bit of a cycle charge. New for Life is a very, very talented Lizman player, so do not let his name fool you. He's been popping it on top of the Umbrace Spearman, which is a fantastic choice, and also crashing into these Silver Helms. Now, White Lines could wrap around and assist, and if the Princess comes over, this could be a dead unit of Horned Ones, but as it stands, they are mulching through those Silver Helms scarily quickly. They're ripping them limb from limb. Looks like we are going to be getting our first Manticore summon coming down in the front line. Probably just going to pop it onto the Mage of Life or put pressure on the Princess. Over on this flank, Horned Ones are decimating these poor Silver Helms here. Those poor Horsemen and Elves getting ripped limb from limb. You see them getting dragged down. White Lines of Chase a little bit slow to react there. Silver Helms, though, do get a nice rear charge up on the Horned Ones on the hill. They do not want to stay in this engagement, especially with the Saurus Old Blood support, but nice pick overall in the main engagement. Sisters of Avalon are trying to focus down Gary here, but in comes the Manticore, hopping on top of that Mage of Life. Princess is going to be able to respond here, but oh god, the Mage got absolutely decimated there. Talisman of Loic has been popped, and the Mage is terrified, at least keeping away from battle for the most part. Saurus cleaning up Spearmen in the front line, and White Lines of Chase have been picked apart by the Feral Stegodons, who are now moving into the back line, and this is what I was worried about. So the Feral Stegodons simply chose to pop on top of the White Lines of Chase, ensuring that the Saurus do in fact win those engagements, before just moving into the back line on top of the Sisters. Some of the Horned Ones up on the high ground here, or Cold One Rise, have been decimated by the Sisters of Avalon here, but Gary's firing his shots in quite happily now from the safety of the rear. Looks like Silver Helms on this flank have been destroyed pretty badly. Horned ones combined with the Sword's Old Blood has slowly chewed their way through. The Sphero doing a decent job in the back line, but the Princess has emerged. I'm assuming a breath attack is inbound in just a second. Pushing away this Sphero for now. They are saturated on top of Spearmen, these sisters, but at the same time, this is a lot of scary dino pressure to deal with. Silver Helms have been completely shattered here. Looks like a lone survivor is going to be running away here. And the Princess probably waiting for a big breath attack. I don't think she wants to commit to this engagement. Saurus Old Blood is deadly, especially Feral Stegodon and Feral Manticore here with all these horned ones. This is very scary stuff overall. But Earthblood does go down. He's desperate to keep these sisters alive and active. It looks like we have more horned ones coming back as well. White Lines chasing a little bit over Zealous there. And in come the horned ones. And this poor Major Life, if she gets caught, will get ripped limb from limb in seconds. Dragon not doing too bad at all. It looks like Lizmen are focusing down the sisters, which they have now managed to terrify off. This Princess probably wants to give up on the situation and retreat. Spearmen have pushed through the front line on top of the Skin cohorts, which is a decent pick. But Saurus Warriors have won their engagements, and so many of the White Lines are terrified and running for the hills. These poor Sisters of Avalon have been tied up in combat by this Feral Stegodon. They certainly want to fall back where possible, as Gary shoots a few more flaming shots directed towards the Princess this time, as sisters do start to break. Balance power going very heavily here in the favour of Noob for Life and his Lizard Men forces. Doing a very decent job. I'm actually quite a big fan of his build here, but some off-meta picks as well with the horned ones. As you can see, they have shattered this Mage of Life here, and higher forces are all starting to break. I don't think there's any way back in. Perhaps if we can save the sisters and rally with the Princess, get some good snipes and outlast these Manticore summons. But Saurus Old Blood on foot is still very, Cold One, sorry, very tanky. It's going to be an absolute mission. Looks like Princess does break. That is going to be armor losses and game 1 to Noob for Life. Good luck to the players indeed, Luca. Welcome, welcome. It's gone. Perfect. Thank you, Stormrunner. Thank you very much for giving me the heads up. So, super fun game to start us off. I always do love a good dinosaur win. Memeing a little bit as well, going with the tic-tac-toe build, but actually bringing a Saurus Old Blood. So a little bit of mind games coming in from Noob for Life. And yeah, Dino Heavy Rush build. It worked very effectively. Gary is a really cool inclusion here, so the Basilodon with Solar Engine, just because it can outrange the sisters and entice the High Elves in, and then you punch through that front line with those Stegodons, hop on top of those guys, and there simply wasn't enough to shut down both of them. The Princess could only be in so many locations at once, and, you know, with the Old Blood and Horned ones lurking as well, they can chew her apart pretty quickly when she does land. But GG. GG, well played. Off the build. So, I'm going to quickly check if Happy Puppy is back yet. Kyoko, looks like she isn't just yet. So, Consul of Rome, it is your time to shine, bud. Let's get him in here. Let's see if he's online. Seal Clubbing Men. Consul of Rome. Alright. There he is. Boop. We are indeed going to change the map. So let us go. Nice big map this time. We'll go Prague. So the list is as follows. It was Happy Puppy. She's going to pop in just when she can after she's finished her games on Aristo's stream. So we've had Red Legion, put up a good fight there up against Noob for Life. We then have Consul of Rome stepping in now. Green and Ice Power. I may play one at the end as well. Depends how long the stream goes. Hey, bud. These guys, this is actually a bit of kind of a secret grudge match, I suppose. Or at least a throwback. These guys have been around since my channel had like 50 subscribers or so, and they played in many of my early tournaments up against each other and have met each other many times on King of the Hills as well, so it should be good fun to see these guys come back. Consul Rome, very good defensive player, can also play aggressive, but his high elf builds can be really tough to crack down. So Noob picks, oh, so I'll call him King Noob here. So King picks 3, and Consul bans 1 and picks. Cool. I'll come chat it for you guys for a little while. Typical Noob Horned one. Surprise no TTT. I was a little bit upset as well, but still, not too bad. I mean, Tic-Tac-Toe is arguably the worst lord in the game. In my opinion, I think he's generally worse than Gorst. I just don't see what he brings to the table. He can really struggle to take down casters even sometimes if he gets a little bit unlucky with the RNG. He's just, and I'm a Lizardman fan. I love all Lizardmen, but Tic-Tac-Toe is certainly something else, unfortunately. So it's us again, Noob, right? These boys, classic showdown. Always fun to see two players that know each other. It makes it interesting. I agree, Raptor, because do you stick to what you know? Or do you, try and mix it up and bring something completely wild that perhaps you're not so used to, a different playstyle, for example, but might catch your opponent off guard, which is what a few of the top tournament players have going for them. Someone like Lotus Moon is always kind of made famous, I suppose, by his kind of kite style of play. Then all of a sudden he'll hit you with a rush build and just decimate you because you've planned to deal with that kite. So it looks like Noob for Life is his three factions are going to be Lizardmen, High Elves, and Norska. So it's going to be interesting to see who Console does ban. While I think about it, let's upgrade the scoreboard. So Noob for Life does go 1-0. Console of Rome. I thought that first game was actually a Extreme Meme Team showdown. Noob for Life, you don't see on his name, but is in fact an Extreme Meme Team member. Not even Noob for Life as a name, he's an imposter. It must be. It must be. Just having a little drink there, guys. Keep myself alive. Yeah, it's certainly fun to bring back King of the Hill. Dun, 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 dun. And yeah, I don't know when we last did one. It's been a little while. We did a lot of tournament streams and so forth. Started campaign as well, which will be back. My streaming schedule is going to be a little bit weaker this week, I think. But Death for Dishonor is going to be huge. That's the final qualifier. Is going to be this Thursday. And if you want to play, there's a link just down below, by the way, in the description. And if you want to enjoy, coming on the channel, playing King of the Hills, sending me replays, playing tournaments, all that good stuff, I have a Discord. That's also just down in the description. You can chat to Raptor there as well and discuss the greatest maps in Total War Warhammer. I'm very excited to see the map he has given us for the final round here. Apparently it is even worse than Black Ark Landing, which I don't know if I believe. I'm not sure if that's possible, but we will certainly see. It's tough, just a sec. It is tough indeed. So Console Rome's going to want to probably play High Elves, I would say, or Empire. If I was him, I'd go Empire, ban Norska, and then bring the Sunmaker if he picks High Elves, because of that glorious machine. But I know Noob for Life will be waiting to play Lizardmen as well. Just going to check Discord, make sure we have no questions. Looks like we're all good and heard. Yep. Cool. So Console Rome is picking Dowie and banning High Elves here. That's quite a nice pick. Now, Norskans, I think, struggle up against Dowie a little bit, simply because of their crazy amount of light armor, so mines with blasting charges can be so effective. And if I'm Dowie in that matchup, I'm probably not actually going to be bringing much artillery or range units at all. Trollhammer torpedoes could do fantastic work up against mammoths and so forth, but if you just bring one or two bolt throwers to entice in the Norskans, but don't have anything for them to actually break in, all their units of hounds and so forth that they probably brought to harass you, it's going to be absolutely useless. Lizardmen as well, pretty rough matchup against Dowie. I'm not the biggest fan of going into it with Lizardmen, but it's possible. You have loads of cheap AP units, red-crested skinks, even basic feral cold ones can do a decent job there. But we will see. We will see. Prague, pretty big map. I haven't used it in tournaments too much, but I'm thinking of bringing it in. Rather large map, I think pretty balanced. There's a hill slightly on one flank. And I like to use the King of the Hills to test out these type of things a little bit. TTT coming at you. So he says. So he says. I think Tic-Tac-Toe would be abysmal here. He can't kill anything, basically. He can chase down troops and he does have the rock drop. But I think it'd take him forever to kill a runesmith. So perhaps it's just mind games. If it's not, Noob for Life, perhaps just happy with his 1-0 victory, wants to meme a little bit here. Now, I think an attempt Noob for Life could make is actually out-skirmish the Dowie. So bring two like skink priests on Stegodons with the great bow. Use them to take out the cannons and so forth. Could bring a either Rev Crystal or a Slan, I suppose, to heal them up as well, and then try and pull apart the dwarfs as much as possible. Entice them forward, and then just use Razordon hunting packs, Pterodon riders, and big dinos to like hit and runs. Might be an idea there. Who knows? I heard this Ronin isn't actually posturing as a noob. He simply is one. Oof, oof. I just let the hate flow. Use the hate. Go to the dark side. A-Move, how's it going in your A-Move versus the World stream over on Aristo's channel, man? Hope you're doing all good. For those who don't know, A-Move is doing a charity stream now as well. I can send you guys there afterwards. And we, in fact, did a charity stream as well, so it's for the same cause. If you go back, you'll see it. It's called A-Move versus the World. There's loads of links on there which will take you to the charity we're supporting, and also, you know, how to donate and all that good stuff. TTT can chase gyros. That's true. That's the one thing he's possibly useful for. That's the one thing he's possibly useful for, I could see. What's up, Red Legion? How's it going, boy? Well played, man. You came up against a tough opponent there. New for Life is a Lizardman main. I'm sure you know, actually, you guys are clan mates. I'm not sure if you've played quite a lot before already and kind of knew each other's playstyles, but yeah, that was a deadly build of his to bring. I did like your build, though. It was pretty traditional in the fact that the Sister Avalon there to do the damage. You're kind of trying to hold the enemy back with the white lines and spearmen and so forth. And was some good fun overall, though. Good stuff indeed. Cool, so these guys are just count their armies. Awesome. Cool. Looks like Happy Puppy is back, so should be placed into next game. You will be up after this game. So that is the list fully sorted. So we have Noob for Life up against Consular Rome here. Then we are going to be having Happy Puppy hopping in Green and Ice Power. Perfect spend. Must be a winner. Noob for Life coming in confident here. You're 1-0 at the moment. Hell yeah, remove. Unstoppable, dude. No, Ronin was unfortunately a bit of a pactor this week, and I was a little bit late, unfortunately. Unfortunately. But we'll get him hit on the channel very soon. Ronin did very good, actually. Ronin, was it? I swear it was you. You got to the semi-final, didn't you, of the last Death Before Dishonor? Which is an impressive feat. We had like 45 players playing in that. So breaking into top 4 was very good. I don't do best of the third place matchups, unfortunately. So perhaps you could have snuck in and got that as well. But I think it's quite cruel to make people play like a third place matchup. It's just horrible after you've just lost and had like your hopes crushed to then be chucked directly back into a game can be a bit rough. Especially for whoever came second. Or like in the second semi-final, so you've had less time to kind of recover. Cool. Console Rome, figure out his Dowie build here, getting those gears working. Good luck, have fun, let's hop in. I am transforming into Pactor. I am the Pactor. Everyone's transformed into ducks in my stream, it's hilarious. It is really funny. Yeah, you lost against Faust. Yeah, but Faust is a beast, man. I've beaten Faust, I think, once. And that's because I got a hard counterpick against him in the King of the Hill. And even then, it was like a grind. I was Dowie against his... Oh, wait, no. I was High Elves against his Dowie. And I think I got a bit lucky on the kind of counterpick as well, like as far as the build goes. Instead of third place, you should do a free-for-all. That could work, Joey. Or Joel, sorry. I was reading my phone sideways there. It was the semis running, I think, because I think you were on stream, I believe. I only stream the semis and finals of Death Before Dishonor, otherwise I'd melt, I think, from kind of the hours they take. Here we are. Prague. Glorious looking map. Nice hilly terrain as well as a few little dotted bits of trees, so you can hide 1 or 2 units in these for a bit of sneaky stabbings. We have a tiny bit of architecture over here as well. Not sure who would bother to build these pillars right here. Perhaps they're over top of some kind of burial tomb or something. Yeah, very nice map. Looks like there's a bit of destruction going on over here as well. Players just about loaded in. I'm going to have a quick look at both their builds. So for the forces of the Dowie here and Consul of Rome, looks like we've actually flipped sides. So we'll go for Noob for Life first and his awesome flying core of dinos here. So we do have triple Ripidactyl riders here. These guys are pretty damn good. They're anti-infantry and armor piercing. Unfortunately for themselves, they are incredibly squishy, so I'm not sure how well they're actually going to do up against Dowie, who are very, very durable. They'll probably do a lot of damage, but be incredibly glass cannon. Leading them, though, is the mighty Tic-Tac-Toe. The Lord, I claim, is the worst in the game, but it'll be interesting to see Noob for Life's opinion of this. He's certainly looking very fantastic here. Master Skies is one of the abilities he has active, as well as Drop Sphere of Teapot, which can do some pretty decent damage, and it also slows the enemy as well where it hits, which is very cool. In the front line, we have a mixture of Saurus Warriors, actually just Saurus Warriors all the way dotted along in the front line, backed up with cheap and cheerful skink cohorts, one with javelins, and their job is simply going to be to sneak through the little gaps in the enemy lines, try and pop around and shut down those cannons, quarrelers, thunderers, all that good stuff. We do have the good old double Feral Stegodon as well, surviving their first round. They are both back again, New for Life's loyal buddies here, so we do have two of those. We have a Skink Priest of Beast coming in with Manticore Summon, and Flock of Doom, interestingly enough, which of course the Dowie do have magic resistance, but at the same time it's still consistent damage over the course of battle. It will certainly add up. Cool, really fun build coming in. New for Life always coming with really interesting builds overall. Now for the forces of the Dowie, in the front line we do have some miners with blasting charges, mixed in with Norgrim Ironbreakers, Regiment of Renowned Ironbreakers. Not only do these guys have a fantastic colour scheme here, the royal red and silver, but they are incredibly goddamn tanky, rocking 125 armour, and their blasting charges will tear apart skinks and do okay damage up against Saurus Warriors. We have more miners dotted along, Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards in a secondary line. Looks like we have some great weapons in the mix as well. And in the back we have basic miners, a couple of units of, or just one unit of Quarrelers, and a couple of units of Thunderers here for that added punch. They're certainly going to have to be wary of those Ripidactyls. In the back line we do have a cannon, and one unit of miners. No Slayers in this build is very interesting. Normally you'd see at least 2 units in this matchup, but we do have Godrek, who can work as basically a Slayer unit by himself here. The legendary Slayer, arguably the best or worst Slayer in history, depending on how you look at it, is coming in with Death Blow, Heroic Fortitude, and of course is Unbreakable. And for his Lord, we do have a Rune Lord coming with all of his runes here, as well as a couple of items, it would seem. So he is going to be rocking the Forge Fire, plus 12% armor piercing weapon damage, as well as Gatekeeper's Belt, plus 33% damage resistance if he gets really low. So pretty decent overall. Looks like just good sportsmanship in chat. Good luck, have funs, and all that good stuff. Who is your money on, boys? Do you think the old ones or the Dowie can pull this through? The Unbreakable Sphinx against my Norse controls. Oh god, yeah. Oh, the Hunter of Champions. Dowie! Damn right, we got some Dowie here. Always glorious to see these guys get represented. And like I said previously, Console Rome, very good with these defensive factions, but I am a little worried by the lack of Slayers to help deal with these pesky Ripidactyls. Looks like the cannon may have spotted them. Is it realigning that way? No, it may just be falling back and firing a few shots forward. Darting into the Saurus Warriors. So as you can see, New for Life leaving his Feral Stegodons a little bit back behind the main line. Going to start moving them just to try and take the focus away from the cannon as much as possible. Ripidactyls are going to be lurking in the skies for now. And I mean, Quarrels will do very good against them. They don't have that much armor, just coming in at 45. And of course, Focus Fire from Thunderers will help finish them off. But it is going to be a real grind for this Dwarf build if it is going to get victory here. Gotrek's going to have to probably hop on at least one of the Stegodons and shoot down the other one. But Tic-Tac-Toe, he's up in the skies, he's lurking, and he does have that rock drop. So interesting to see where he does land it. If he pops it on top of the Thunderers, I'm sure they might get decimated. I'm pretty interested to see how much damage that thing actually does, considering I basically never use it, unfortunately. So looks like more cannon shots have now started to hop on top of the Ripidactyls here. Doing a bit of damage, but not taking a model there, so must have just clipped the wings of one of those flying piranhas. But it's loading up some shots now, and boom! Kobeing those shots up and over, and looks like they are swinging and missing so far, but these guys are sitting dangerously still, taking another cannon to the face, but somehow surviving it. So losing no models, which is really useful, of course, for their damage output is currently staying the same. Quarrel's loading shots into Tic-Tac-Toe, and I'm surprised he's not dead already, so he does need to fall back here. He's taking at least one arrow, which for Tic-Tac-Toe is quite a lot of damage. Thunderers are loading shots into this front unit of Ripidactyls. A Master Rune of Ratharoon has been popped on them as well. Looks like they dropped in to try and muck up the blasting charges as much as possible. They still managed to get a few off and taking a bit of damage in return, but nothing too crazy. More Ripidactyls have popped down on top of the Thunderers, and I hear a Manticore Summon in the distance as well, floating up in the skies there. Horrors leashing shots into Tic-Tac-Toe doing some pretty good damage. Cannon has started to focus down at these Feral Stegodon here, but the Manticore's popping in the back with all of these Ripidactyls. It's going to be a real tough grind for the Dowie to protect all of these units. Looks like Norgrim Ironbreakers just annihilating some Saurus Warriors in the front line. Saurus getting beat up pretty much along the majority of the front line at least. There's of course way more Dowie front line than there is for Lizards. Skinks very carefully have managed to sneak around the sides here, nice conniving skills, but Miners are going to be pushing forward and shutting those guys down at least momentarily, but some more Skinks have popped down the left and it looks like they are going to be hopping on top of these Quarrelers here. So the back line for the Dowie pretty in shambles at the moment. Ripidactyl is going to be shutting down this cannon. One of the Thunderers is shut down. It looks like the second unit as well is about to get dropped on by these Ripidactyls. Gotrek desperately sprinting, puffing out his cheeks here, from place to place, trying to save his troops where possible, but it's a little bit rough for him right now. Tic-Tac-Toe down to about half health, just floating around in the sky, and Stegodon is rampaging now, but to be honest, it's just going to be giving him better stats at this moment, and he'll be able to chew through miners and dwarf warriors weapons pretty damn effectively here. Looks like there's a nice little court over here, though. Longbirds do have Master Rune of Oath and Steel on them now, giving that plus 60 armor. Looks like it has just disappeared now. But a nice little court. Tic-Tac-Toe thinking about coming over here and assassinating the Rune Lord. Of course, he still has his rock drop in, and the ultimate wet noodle duel of the century here, as the Rune Lord does fight Tic-Tac-Toe. Gets flung to the ground, taking some damage here. Tic-Tac-Toe putting in the work. We have the Ripidactyls as well, relatively healthy, at least for this part of the battle. Gotrek has slain a few of them, and it looks like Dwarf Warriors are saturated on top of some of their Corralers. But Ferrosagon's coming back here as well, and this is a lot of pressure. Fantastic, diligent play here coming in by Nude for Life, taking Skink Cohorts and using them to chase off that cannon crew, ensuring it can't come back and get any value, and the second unit of Skink Cohorts are chasing down Thunderers now. Rune Lord is getting a little bit beaten up here, just constantly getting flung to the ground. Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin is popped on Tic-Tac-Toe, though, and that has become one of the slowest chase scenes in cinematic history. Rune Lord running away here, 32 speed. Looks like Tic-Tac-Toe does manage to get up in the air and swoop back down, which is increasing his speed a little bit here. Ripidactyls are lurking, though, and they're going to be hopping in and shutting him down. And this is looking pretty rough for the forces of the Dao if they lose their Lord, but they are grinding out a lot of these frontline engagements, and there is still a ton of Dwarf Warriors around. But Ferromanticore has been summoned, and these Stegodons are still really strong and very healthy. And there's basically nothing to take them down but Gotrek, and he simply cannot be everywhere at once. If his rest of his forces do break, he will simply be surrounded and dragged down. Miners currently having a staring contest with this Skink Priest of Beast. Letting him go by. A little warning shots though to him. I'm sure they're yelling many a grudges as he does start to sneak into the back line. He's basically just going to be a harass unit now, as of course he has used both his summons. Norgrim Ironbreaker's up to 69 kills. Wait, getting in some nice blasting charges on these Source Warriors, certainly helping out the Longbeards here. And the front line of Lizardmen is pretty much decimated at this point. Gotrek not doing too bad here. He's a little beat up as he's completely surrounded and been flung to the floor constantly, which is not a good way for a dwarf to spend his life. Ripidactyl's doing some decent work. Miners are slowly trying to drag those bad boys down. One Ferromanticore as well. Looks like he's been used to go after Gotrek, realising he is one of the predominantly kind of final threats the Lizardmen will need to clear up. Balance power going very Lizardmen favoured at this point. Longbeard's slowly been dragged down by a mixture of Source Warriors, even though Northern Ironbreakers are basically untouched, even with 75 kills. Very impressive display by them. Miners being completely surrounded by Source Warriors is going to be a bad way to end their day. And yeah, units are being chased off all over the field. Nice mobility play as well by Noob for Life. Simply pulling away from this main blob. He doesn't need to deal with it yet. Surround and crump. And that's exactly what he's doing. And then he's chasing off all these units with his fast moving forces. Really good play so far. But there is still a pocket of strength here for the Dowie. We have some Dwarf Warriors with great weapons mixed in with Miners, more Dwarf Warriors, and of course Gotrek, who's incredibly low here. Does he have his healing buff? It's going to be pretty key. So Warriors standing strong for now. Northern Ironbreakers managed to clean those guys up, but in comes the swarm of Ripidactyls, ripping the Dowie limb from limb. They care not for your meager armor, and they are just slaughtering their way through. Ironbreakers taking the full brunt of that charge though and still fighting very strong. These boys are absolute champs here, coming in with 92 kills so far, but Ferrosagon's will just walk all over the guys. The problem with the Northern Ironbreakers is, yes, they can tank a lot of damage, but they don't deal too much, apart from against light infantry with those blasting charges. Gotrek trying to chase down the Ferrosagon, but once again, fantastic play by Noob for Life, dragging his units through the opponents, trying to push over as many dwarfs as possible, but it looks like the Stegodon may fall here. But Ripidactyls can be doing some nice cycle charging. Looks like we do have some Skink Cohorts with Javelins peppering down some Dwarf Warriors, being an absolute pain there. Tic-Tac-Toe has landed, but he really does not want to be down here with Gotrek. Gotrek will slaughter him in a number of hits. And, oh god, camera shaken as a mighty roar is unleashed, and the Ripidactyls do come charging in, but Tic-Tac-Toe taken out in nearly one hit there from Gotrek popping in. Tic-Tac-Toe does have Focus Instincts popped. That is simply going to stop Rampage, not actually boost up his leadership. He does manage to fall back and get up into the skies now. Best for him just to go after, these like 14 Longbeards here and finish off all the other routing troops as well. Looks like a big fat Flock of Doom has come down here, an extended duration one as well. I suppose Skink Priest might as well drop all those when he can. And yeah, looks like army losses are setting in. Ironbreakers do finally break. Very well played. Come with an awesome Tic-Tac-Toe build and winning here. Gotrek going down like a true champ though here, surrounded by gigantic monsters of course. And also Source Warriors, they're pretty scary to be honest. I think a Sled would be happy to go out for a mighty Source Warrior. They're all teeth and scales. Gotrek though, taking down one or two more foes where he can. Tic-Tac-Toe's animation get a little bit buggy there as we just hop him. The healing proc has gone down for Gotrek, and he's going to fight this to the death. GG's in chat. Console Rome, crap. Did not expect the Air Force, I assume, coming down here. And Paul Gotrek is going to be going down here. But, you know, he's living his life green here, surrounded in death and carnage. And he did very well for himself as well. Big boys indeed, Squirrel. Indeed. There he is with his tic-tac-toe Raptor. See, that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. You bring tic-tac-toe and it is a guaranteed win. Managed to pick apart the dwarf forces. You probably want to be a tiny bit tighter just to ensure they can protect the Thunderers, who did some good initial damage, but you can see 1, 0 and 2 kills on his ranged troops. Basically came down to a grind, I think, with a couple of units of Slayers. Yeah, a couple of units of Slayers, or even just trying to protect the Thunderers a little bit more. He probably could have won this fairly handily. The Slayers would have been fantastic against Ripidactyls and the Stegodon and Tic-Tac-Toe, and he had enough of a front line to beat down the Saurus. So even if he cut, honestly, all the range but the cannon, and has had like 3 units of Slayers, I think that could have been a very different turnaround. But Goshek doing his best there, 11 kills, not too bad, and an absolute champ of the people, Noob for Life, coming with Tic-Tac-Toe. But very well played to both of these guys. Console Rome, always a true champ of the channel as well. Well played. Tic-Tac-Toe proved me wrong. So, Happy Puppy, it is your time to shine. So we have Happy Puppy, Green, and Ice Power. Duck eating his words about TTT. Oh no, man. Oh no. He would have probably won even with 1 Slayer. He needed a couple of Slayers, I think. Hey, Happy Puppy's here. She is here, ready to rumble. Quack, quack. Cool, let's update the scoreboard. So, 2-0 for current king, Noob for Life. Let's add in Happy Puppy right here. So, Happy Puppy, she's relatively new, I think, to multiplayer. Not like super new, but has been playing for a little while. Representing the Extreme Meme team and is a very talented player as well. Don't think I've had the honour of coming up against them yet on quick battles or any of that type of stuff or in a tournament, but I've seen her on multiple King of the Hills and so forth, and I can certainly do some good work. So what is the map? We're going to go River and Maxon. They shred Ripidactyls. Yeah, Slayers would have decimated that. Ripidactyls are very, very glass cannon, and they just simply can't pull apart the Slayers quick enough, and all those attacks coming in will really rip those guys apart. Looks like New for Life is going Lizardmen, High Elves, and Dark Elves here. Wonder if he's, we are going to see a Lizardmen ban. Could be a good shout. I don't know what Happy Puppy tends to play, but banning Dark Elves, going Skaven maybe. You can snipe out the high targets of the High Elves. Of course, they can go very wide with Archers as well, but I love Skaven up against Lizardmen. It's such a disgusting matchup. She's almost better than a move already. Ooh, tougher talk there, Ronan. Oh, Happy Puppy is banning Lizardmen and picking Skaven. Interesting. I think Skaven are fantastic up against Lizardmen, but we'll see. Perhaps she's well aware that New for Life does main Lizardmen, so maybe we just wants to get them off the table. Give her 1 more month and she'll be there. That's some funny stuff, Ronan. So you're talking big while A-Move isn't here to defend himself? Looks like New for Life is going Dark Elves. They have a ton of fast skirmishes to break into the back line, as well as a ton of armor-piercing missiles to help take down the big threat. So it's going to be pretty tough for the Skaven, I think, here, but we'll have to wait and see. See if the king will be overthrown by the usurper. She's been playing a lot of Skaven lately. Interesting. Of course, she is your clanmate, Raptor. What do you know what Happy Puppy does main? Well, hello there, Palpatine. How's it going, bud? Hope you're all good. You're one of your nemesises, Noob for Life, currently on an absolute winning streak here. Absolute beast, having won the first 2 games of stream. First one up against Red Legion, and second up against Consul Roman. 2 really fun games. We now have Happy Puppy, Green, and Ice Power as challengers. Hey, Jedi. Sith. Palpatine, you'll be happy to know, by the way, there is a character in my Emmerich the Dragon Prince campaign named after you now. He's probably going to die, like, incredibly quickly in the situation he is, but there is a Heavens caster named after you, simply for the Chain Lightning. Or the Thunderbolts, all that good stuff. Cool. Just going to check my Discord, make sure we're all good. It looks like it. Dum, 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 dum. And just to chuck this up quickly while we are waiting for these guys to load in. Dum, 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 dum. Where are you? There we are. Bam! Death Before Dishonor Season 4 this Thursday, June the 4th. 4:30 PM BST. You will need to sign in before that. But for all information on that tournament, there's a link just down in the description down below. Also, feel free to join the Discord. You can find out more information that way as well. But it should be some good fun. Last time was huge. We had like 45 players playing, and it went on for like super amount of time. But with some really good fun, eventually being won by Tlaxlan Soothsayer. So if you want your chance to get in here and book your place for the final slot, in fact, in the Death Before Dishonor Season 4 finals alongside Anticity, Noob for Life, who is currently king, and Tlaxlan Soothsayer, feel free to hop in. Pop that down there. Enough of that, and we are good to go. Looks like Noob for Life is switching between his sub-factions here. Oh, I can't remember who that is. Please say he's going to bring... oh my god, what's her name? What's her name? The crazy lady. With the knives. She loves blood. I can't believe I've forgotten this. So not Marathi. The other one. I never see her that much. That's why I can't even think of her name. You guys know who I mean. We need some Chaos plays. Indeed, man. Chaos plays are pretty damn scary if you do run into a good Chaos player. I know one called Papa P. Don't know one called Papa Palpatine, unfortunately, but we will see. Helebron. There we go. Helebron. Yes. Helebron. I hope we see some Helebron, but I'm not sure whose sub-faction this one is. Holding the Flaming Heart. Who knows? Who knows? They're cool to see some Malekith action as well. Crone Helebron. Just as I remember it, you guys pop it all in chat. Helebron, Crone Helebron, indeed. She's pretty damn awesome. I don't think she's very good, but... Oh, she's not terrible, but she's... Dark Elves have such, like, a good pool of characters to pick from that she just kind of gets swept under the rug. But perhaps in some other factions that have kind of, you know, lacking in Lord choices, she'd be a little bit more of a common pick. She's just very squishy. Which does tend to happen when you're a naked lady running around a battlefield. Cool, cool. These guys sort out their builds here. River Maxon, very fun map overall. Quite nice and open. It doesn't in fact have a river on it, so it is lying to you, which is a little bit rude. But we do have some nice trees. You can see a couple of clumps here, as well as along all the periphery of the battlefield. So you can certainly do some sneaky stabbings and approach gun lines as well. So for example, if the Skaven do go very heavy with Giselles and so forth, mortars, you can take an approach through the trees. But at the same time, if you are defending, you can kind of scoot your boot over to the flank. You do have to be wary of the trees on this side, but there's some nice impassable terrain as well, and hilly deployment. Extreme Meme Team for the win. This is our third Extreme Meme Team representative, I believe, so far. I think that sub-faction is Malice. Could be. Pretty interesting to see, Malice. A heart on fire in the clutches. Perhaps that's his heart in the hands of Tazarkan. Who knows? Yeah, Hoganeth... Is Hoganeth on the black symbol? I can't remember. I don't really play Dark Elves too much, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like it is Malice by the looks of it in chat. Which, if we see some Malice play, I'll be a very happy boy. So have a quick sip of my drink. And we will wait for these players to load in on this glorious battlefield. So I believe the riverbed is actually over here. It's just kind of all dried up, unfortunately. But we do get to explore some lovely Aztec lizardmen architecture here. Beautiful scenes up on the hill there. Nice little waterfall, couple of rocks as well. Don't know why you'd want a bridge all the way to a little pillar, but, you know, the minds of the old ones is their own. So here we go. So once again, Noob for Life, bringing a sub-faction and then a different commander, which is kind of funny. So he's actually going to be led by a guy who is hopping around all over the place. Where are you? Is he hidden in the trees here? Looks like he is. So we do have a Supreme Sorceress of Death here. Thought it was going to be a Beastmaster for a second, but Supreme Sorceress is very good. On top of her Manticore here, coming with Arcane Conduit, Opal Amulet, Soul Stealer, which of course is incredibly powerful, and Chillwind. I also love the Armoured Manticore model. It looks so goddamn badass compared to the normal one. I mean, normal one looks cool and terrifying, but something special about the Armoured one. So we do have Dread Spears dotted all the way along the front line, mixing with Bleak Swords as well. So cheap and cheerful chaff, basically, to soak up enemy damage and try and push their way into the back line. Certainly expecting a gun line, but it looks of it. We do have some of the Scourge Runner chaps as well, one over here, and we have Senesch's Harvesters as well, Regiment Round Doomfire Warlocks over on the right hand side. So two very fast units. We have double Hydra, so we have a basic War Hydra, as well as the Chill of Sontar, the Regiment of Renowned one, and it can be a little bit of a trick trying to shoot the Hydras early on. You see this big nasty monster and you want to take it down, but that regeneration can be very powerful, and if you don't finish them off, it can certainly waste a ton of your ammunition as they just heal up that damage. We do have a Sorcerer of Death as well down on the ground here with Spirit Leech, which is very powerful up against Skaven Lords who do tend to lack HP. Darkstar Cloak as well is going to be in play. We have some Dark Riders pushing forward a little bit, Silver Chevrons on these bad boys as well to push into that back line, but really fun build overall. Now for Happy Puppy, I believe making her debut on the channel. In the front line, we do have Skaven Slaves, cheap and cheerful chaff, they won't do too much, but they'll bog down the enemy for a decent amount of time. It looks like it is Clan Rats as well in the secondary line. We do have the Council Guard though, Regiment Round Storm Vermin with Halberds, the toughest of the tough, the elite of the elite for Skaven. Still not the best, warriors in the game or anything, but having an unbreakable unit in the forces of the Skaven is really powerful. They can hold the line for a decent amount of time. We do have a Rogue Doomwheel here, it's going to be really fun to see play. We have Poison Wind Mortars, who can certainly punish tightly packed Dark Elf formations. Sure, the Dark Elves won't be happy to be, compared to High Elves there, but it does happen from time to time. We have an Assassin on the ground with Lord Skroak. Lord Skroak, of course, going to be bringing the Lever of Bonicus and Rod of Corruption, just both very powerful. Pestilent Breath, Vermintide, and Aura Pestilence. So, Vermintide can be summoning Clan Rats, which she's really going to need here, just to help this Skaven Slave force, because these guys are going to get run over very quickly. And there is double Warplock Giselles, one of them being the Natty Bobu Sharpshooters, plus these mortars to protect. That is quite a large investment, but they can do some decent work. We have Rat Ogres in reserve as well. Looks like 3 units of those guys, one hiding in the trees, to help deal with enemy skirmishers. I actually quite like 1 or 2 units of Eshin Triads mixed in with the Rat Ogres, as that nasty armor sundering with Weeping Blades can do some fantastic work and help protect the back line. So, looks like these guys are getting underway just as we finish going through the armies there. I only care about Marathi and Dark Elf Rossa, wink. I believe Marathi's a very old lady, though, despite what her parents may tell you. Sorry about the cosplay, guys. Poison Wind Mortar, we do have a Overcast Spirit Leech. So Overcast Spirit Leech doesn't actually increase any damage, but it simply increases the range, and getting it onto the low model count of the Poison Wind Mortars could do some pretty decent damage, but all 9 of these guys are still alive, so their damage output is still going to be exactly the same, at least for now. But if they get touched by anything, they're going to be getting absolutely melted. Rat Ogres have been spotted in the trees, but they're going to be pushing away some Dark Riders. Dark Riders with Silver Shields are going to be relatively durable. Warplock Giselles are starting to unload into those Scourge Runner chariots. Not a bad pick at all. Trying to get those guys off the field early, as they're going to be able to roam into the back lines pretty damn quickly. Now, the double Hydra is pretty scary. Of course, the Council Guard can slowly drag them down, as well as consistent fire from the Warplock Giselles, but it's going to be tough. It looks like the Mortar's doing some horrendous damage here on top of these Dread Spears. Lost about 1/3 of their health very, very quickly here, as the Scorch on Chariots do fall back into the trees. The King is a little bit of a retreat there, but a lovely breath attack coming in on top of the Council Guard, getting some really good value. It wasn't down the side, but still pushing a lot of those guys back overall. Now, the Assassin in Lord Skroak going for an absolute Leroy Jenkins move here on top of this War Hydra. This is some crazy stuff. I don't know if it's going to pay. It has pushed the War Hydra back, and the War Hydra is running for the hills here. So the Lord Skroak and the Assassin being pretty cool there, pushing all the way forward and driving that War Hydra back. Who's going to be healing up, of course? Warlock Giselle is trying to pin down the Supreme Sorceress, which isn't a bad pick at all. She is relatively squishy. And so Lord Skroak and the Assassin has decided to fall back. So it's going to be interesting to see when this does start to buckle. The Doomwheel has flung itself in onto the Chill of Sontar, not where it wants to be at all. It needs to be roaming through these Dread Spears, taking a huge amount of damage here. Nice play though, the Rat Ogres are starting to shut down these Dark Rider core. Looks like the Supreme Sorceress has dropped in, so combined they should be able to break off these Rat Ogres relatively quickly. They don't have the best leadership, and then chase them down with simply 1 unit of Dark Riders and get some really good value. More Rat Ogres are being committed to the fight, however. Poison Wind Mortars as well, really good, up to 30 kills so far, but done a huge amount of damage. That poor Doomwheel getting destroyed by the Chill of Sontar, but Lord Skroak is there to support, and we are going to see some summoned Clan Rats as well. Clan Rats doing pretty decent down here. Looks like more Skaven Slaves have been pushed back though. So of course, wherever there's not support by cheeky magic or these contraptions and so forth, the Red Spears are clearly going to chew through those game saves very quickly. Counter Guard is back here. They might be able to ping in the Supreme Sorceress. The Libra has been popped on her, and she's taking a huge amount of damage there. Matty Boble Sharpshooters doing their 360 no scopes and decimating her. She is designed to land again, which is pretty damn scary here. These guys can get their eyes in sight quickly, or their sight down eyes, whatever that saying is, as Natty Boble Sharpshooters unleash shot after shot. And this is a fantastic way back in the game here for Happy Puppy, who has been currently overrun quite badly. But Council Guard are tearing into the Snatcher's Harvesters now, which is going to get some fantastic value, and there is still a very nasty Chill of Sontar and War Hydra. But in comes the Supreme Sorceress, trying to shut down the Warp Lord Gazelles as much as possible, but she herself, down to just 1,000 health, she does pop a relatively nice Soul Stealer here, nuking down the Assassin and Lord Scrog, but is it going to be enough to save her? I'm not too sure at this point. 1,200, she is starting to stabilise here, and perhaps it's gone past this game's control now. We do have some Plague Monks who have been summoned up, going to be falling into this War Hydra, and they do some pretty decent damage against all foes realistically, but not the ideal target. Supreme Sorceress did get back up to about 1,080 hit points there, which has saved her skin. Definitely that Soul Stealer very clutch kind of at the end. This poor Chill of Sontar does actually kind of have minus 40 melee attack, allowing the Assassin to get in there and do some okay damage, but as soon as that guy gets back, he's going to mulch that Assassin to death very, very quickly. Supreme Sorceress once again popping down on top of these Warplock Gazelles, but fleeing for the hills as the Council Guard do start to approach. These guys need to be firing here. Looks like they're currently stuck just sitting there. And it looks like Natty Boble Sharpshooters as well are engaged in combat. But really close game so far. Very well played to both players. Looks like the Skaven trying to scrap, but I think the Dark Elves are slightly more favoured here. Balance power is Dark Elf favoured despite how low the Supreme Sorceress is. I suppose Scrog is equally low. But if you get maybe one more lever off or some more shots, you can do some decent damage. Lovely Breath Attack coming in, once again trying to whittle down the Council Guard where possible. The nice blob has formed. However, ooh, that Breath Attack doing some not too much huge damage. It looks like a decent amount of it did miss. And the Skaven may be rallying here, guys. The Council Guard are going to be a massive pain to deal with. Apologies for the sirens going by my window there. I do live right next to a police station as well as a hospital, so Supreme Sorceress has been hit by a roll of corruption here. It looks like another Soul Stealer has gone down. Teetering on the edge here, down to about 800 health. Snatcher's Harvesters have popped into the back line, though. Those guys not being cleared up has really costing the Sharpshooters so far. Standard Ground has been popped. Supreme Sorceress with the Opal Amulet also giving her 22% damage resistance. She's hanging in there, an absolute champ so far. It looks like the Dark Elves are going to clean this one up, but really fun builds by both players and a very close game overall. Remember when Hellebron was hella broken? Man, that was probably before my time. I've never seen Hellebron be powerful, unfortunately. Oh, early on release. I think maybe I was watching videos at that point, but I wasn't creating them myself. Get it? Hellebron, Hellebroken. But wasn't her buff very powerful or something? I can't remember. By the way, very well played to Happy Puppy there, putting on a great display, managing to protect her back line for a reasonable amount of time, considering the huge amount of harass, but there was just too many key targets to shoot. She wants to get rid of the Squadron of Chariots, but as well as double Hydra, plus that Supreme Sorceress coming in with two very clutch Soul Stealers, sealed the deal there. GG, well played. The king lives on. Couldn't deal with the Hydras. Yeah, the double Hydra was rough. The double Hydra was rough. But very well played anyway by both players. And we will hop in with our next contestant, who is going to be Green. So Green, if you are listening, please do join the lobby. Password is 123. Yeah, on release, it was a bug. Releases always have bugs, unfortunately. We've currently got some negative ones, of course, with the weapon strength and so forth. So this is our second last matchup here. I may play one at the death, but might just do that as kind of like a showcase match. So we are going to play on... What sensible map do we want before we do Raptor's final map here? Nope, that wasn't the one I was thinking of, that one. Iron Sand Desert it is. We just had a load of trees, so it's nice to take down. How many on the list? Any room left? Unfortunately, Starmation, we have gone through the whole list. So there is just going to be Green and Ice Power left. Would be great to have you here. But we already have more people on backup list as well and so forth. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have time. I may do one game at the end, but I'll probably just be taking on the King. We'll certainly try and get you into the next one, bud. And we also have a tournament coming up this Thursday, which I know is a very good player yourself you may be interested in. We have Death Before Dishonor qualifier number 4, which is the final qualifier. For this season, you can try and book your place in the finals up against Enticity, Noob for Life, and Talaxland Soothsay, which is a scary bunch of players to have to deal with. So let's up Noob for Life here, and pop in Green here. So I'm not sure if Green has played on the channel before. Let us just find where he is. I'll send him a quick message on Discord. Green. Cool. Send him a message. We'll give him a little while to respond. Hey, dude. Sorry, I just sent me a message. Oh, lobby is Ducky. Over there. Cool. I'll also add him on Steam and then we'll get him in the lobby. Because it looks like he can't, unfortunately, see the lobby. Nah, Happy Puppy, you did good. You did really good. It's Noob for Life is a really tough competitor. Do not be fooled by his name. You still lost though, I hate you. Oh, free throw at the end. That's a good idea, Storm. That could be funny. Cool. Green has sent me his name. So open up Steam. Yeah, so what I'll probably do is just host a free-for-all lobby, and whoever hops in first will probably get to play. As long as you have good internet connection, because my god, that could be a terrible thing. So let's add a friend. Cool. We have 15 friends in common. Awesome. And let's wait for Green to appear. So many people change their name on my friend list. I have no idea who some of these guys are, like who Grom is. No idea who that is. Cool. Oh, looks like Green managed to find the lobby anyway. Hey, hey. Noob is on the same level as most ECL players, yeah. Noob is very powerful indeed. I don't think, yeah, Green, I think I've seen, I'm just chucking stuff around my room. I think I've seen Green, like, signed up for events, but I don't think I've ever come against him myself. Yeah, Warhammer Cup rules, yeah. Cool, cool. Well, these guys saw that, just going to check something. Make sure we're all looking good. Yeah, looks like stream's holding up fine. And we've already got a few players signed up for Death Before Dishonor, which is very, very cool. Like Prussian Prince is returning as well. Prussian Prince, very good player. Talented content creator himself as well, I'm sure you've heard. So, the King picks 3. You ban 1 and pick. So it looks like Noob is going Lizardmen, High Elves, and Norsca this time. Good to see him play some Norscan action, although I'm always down for more Lizardmen action, of course. This sounds expensive. No, it was a... It's just really bad how on time my room was. It's a glass container which a dessert comes in. What are they called? Like, it's like GU, but the U has 2 little dots above it, so I'm not sure what that changes it into. So I just call it goo. It was like a strawberry cheesecake like pudding thing. It'd be a shame if it'd fall to the ground and break in pieces. You demand chaos, Papa Palpatine, but Ronan is chaotic neutral, so we have him already in chat. Seeing some chaos would be fantastic, though. I've actually been playing chaos a little bit. You'll be proud. I've been playing Chaos Rush builds up against greenskins, just kind of trialing it out as a bit of a counter to them. because I think a lot of people are going for a lot of the new stuff, and big, like, I take, like 5 Chaos Marauders, 4 Chaos Spawn, and you just roll over that greenskin front line, because now they don't have the wire to support them straight away, and by the time they do pop it, hopefully you've pushed your way through just about enough. Alban? No? I'm assuming you meant Norska there. And going Skaven, so we're going to see some more Skaven love coming in here from green, and it looks like he's going to be up against the High Elves there. Should be some good fun indeed. Yes, Storm. That's what it is. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're amazing. Why am I chaotic neutral? Well, always, saying stuff about a move, I suppose. Starting fights in chat, I see. No, I'm joking. Ronin's great, man. Real good competitor as well. He's super tough to take down. His Wood Elf play is ridiculous. Like, most people with Wood Elves against Bretonnians struggle. I swear Ronin, he enjoys the matchup, which is pretty insane. So definitely chaotic there, chaotic neutral. But here's some really nice Wood Elf play. And good play in general, but the Wood Elf's certainly a highlight. So, High Elves versus Skaven. It's going to be a little bit tough to call this one. High Elves can go very wide with a ton of cheap spearmen, especially now going, tons of cheap ranger units, like all the swordsmen and so forth, and then a ton of archers can really tear through the Skaven very, very quickly and effectively. But at the same time, Skaven still do have the tools to deal with those very expensive high elf characters and units who are incredibly squishy and low HP. Warped Elves are fantastic against pretty much every single high elf lord, so it's going to be interesting. Looks like green is ready, coming out the gate swinging. So after this, we do have one more matchup and maybe a free-for-all at the end. It depends how long the streams we're running on for, because I still need to go to the shops and get some food and all that good stuff. It's the best matchup in the game to play, just saying. Certainly gets the blood pumping. What's up, Scourge of the West? How's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing all good today. With all the craziness going on in the world, unfortunately. It is insane at the moment. Britain's slowly starting to come out of lockdown and going back to, well, we have a plan over the next couple of months to slowly go back to normality. My hair is, insane. As you know, obviously all, main shops have been closed and whatnot, and I needed a haircut before, just before everyone went into lockdown, so I've got, big curly locks at the moment. Which is kind of funny. It's kind of grown on me a little bit. I hated it to start with. It is what it is. Welcome to everyone watching. Hope you're having a good time anyway. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Super helps pushing the stream out to more viewers, of course. And subscribe if you're new. We're getting close to 600 subs. We do all kinds of Total War content all the time, which is really good fun. I've just realised how many people are watching. That's pretty crazy, if that's actually true. If anyone can let me know, because my page was bugged. It said for ages we had 14 people watching. Now it's telling me I have 40, which is two very different analyses there from my app. Oh, looks like the boys are ready. But yes. What's up, Dave the White Lizard, man? How's it going? You actually have a replay up on the channel, bud, of you up against Triore, which I put up today. Really fun game. Got to see some glorious chaos in action. Oh, Noob for Life, you pro. You pro, bringing the Knights of Caledor, true champ of the people. If Noob for Life has gone for a full Rohan build, he is king. He's king. He's Theoden. He's rocking it hard. I don't care if he loses. He is King Theoden, which will be glorious. 42-14. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. I've had to update the app. You had 593 when I tuned in. Oh, subs. Sorry, I thought you meant people watching. Looks like the boys are right. Let's hop in there. But yeah, I super shout out to you guys and everyone watching. We've had some crazy support over the last kind of couple of weeks, where the channel's just kind of snowballed a ton. Got loads of views and subscribers and all that good stuff. Refresh the page. I'm trying, Ronan, but I hate the YouTube app on my phone, so I have to chat to chat through my phone instead of my PC, because I only have one monitor at the moment, and it is a walking nightmare, unfortunately. But anyway, for the Forces of Noob for Life, I really like this build, just off the look of it straight away. So we do have, it looks like 5 units of the Rangers. They're going to be fantastic at clearing through chaff and so forth, but we'll get absolutely punished by rat ogres, doom wills, and all that kind of good stuff. So I've got to be a little bit careful. They're sharpening their blades here and getting ready for action. We have triple archers in a secondary line here. Decent amount of archers, not too much to protect, but at the same time can pack a little bit of a punch. We do have 1 unit of spearmen to back up, and then a absolute sea of Illyrian Reavers. These guys actually hit really hard. People don't quite realise that they come in with a pretty whopping charge bonus of 40 and can do some really nice shock damage on the charge, which of course can break Skaven very quickly. We do have 1 noble up top of his chariot. Noble's one of the peskiest units in the game. Awesome halberd, however. Going to be coming in, of course, with the Armour of Stars, which can make them unspottable and gives them stalk. It is pretty insane, so you can have invisible chariots running around the place. We do have a Mage of Beasts coming in with simply a Manticore summon, as well as a Archmage of Death. Hell yes, seeing one of the new Archmages. I'm a big fan of these lovely ladies and geezers. I think some of them are guys. I'm not sure if they're all just female. So Archmage of Death going to be rocking in with Spirit Leech, and she can also get Armour of Stars, making her invisible on that flying beast, which is pretty much insanity right there. We do have an Arcane Phoenix as well. Going to be interesting to see when it comes down and does its little bomb attacks. It looks like Reavers staying relatively close to home here, but just on either flanks. Now, for the Forces of Skaven here, and green, in the front line, we have Clan Rats mixed in with Skaven Slaves dotted all the way along. Some Rat Ogres as well, for good measure, getting ready to pound down the enemy. Or it looks like he is just redeploying his forces anyway. So Clan Rats in the second line as well, so very similar build so far to Happy Puppy, kind of going cheap and cheerful in the main and secondary line. We do have Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers though, the Beric Dundarians of the Rat world, coming with their awesome flaming swords and very cool shield designs as well. These guys are meat shields, but they come in with flaming attacks and they're pretty damn cool. We do have an Assassin as well down here on the low ground, rocking alongside a Grey Seer of Plague, something I don't get to see too often at all on his awesome bell here. Going to be coming in with Arcane Conduit, Warpstone Scroll, Vermintide, Pestilent Breath, all this good stuff. Dreading 13 spell is going to be so cool if it does go off, and all that good stuff, yeah. Coming in with a Scorch as well. Right, in very deep reserve here, we do have the Plague Claw Catapults, and just a sea of Rat Ogres dotted around. It looks like we actually have 4 units of those guys, which is pretty damn good. Natty Bobu Sharpshooters are here up in the front, and they're going to get some initial volleys off into the Rangers, keep them forced back as we speak. So the Elves are going to be rushing forward here. Looks like Skaven are pretty close to the back of the map, but there is some room to manoeuvre around the right-hand side. We'll have to see how it goes. So, of course, we are playing at the attacking rules as well. I can't wait for Overhaul Game 3. Game 3 is going to be amazing. You're done with the stream, move. Well, we'll hop you into the free-for-all. We can do a free-for-all at the end, man. But I hope the stream went good with Aristo, dude. I'll speak about a little bit more about that after. But all you've missed so far is Noob for Life slaying people left, right and centre. A nice Scorch coming down. They're not really doing too much damage. I suppose the Rangers do have a relatively spacious kind of formation. But nice early shots are coming in here. Looks like these boys are ready. So, I'm a little worried here about... I mean, there is room to get around, but if he just counters it, we may have to have a word about line blocking. This map is unfortunately a little bit annoying for it. Arcane Phoenix is going to be floating in, taking some damage. A Spirit Leech does go down on the Grey Seer here, as the Noble just chilling out in the front lines here, getting ready to push through. Looks like it's just standing there before falling back, so just staring that Assassin dead in the eyes. As the Rangers are going to start to advance here, the Rangers are going to clear through these Skaven Slaves in a matter of seconds. Look at these guys' kills. They're like 23, 24, 26, 30, 34. They are racking them up so fast, but it looks like it is in fact double Assassin. The Archmage of Death does have a Warp Stone Scroll on her, minus her speed by 48%, taking a large amount of damage from the Natty Bobus and Warp Lock Giselles here. The Rangers are starting to push into the back lines. This Noble needs to get very active and start pushing in. And Lear Reaver's going to crunch these Skaven Slaves on the charge. That huge shock damage coming in and pulling apart those rats and probably breaking them off rather quickly. More Illyrian Reavers as well, getting a nice rear attack into Clan Rats. It looks like they did turn just in time, but of course are unbraced. Assassin is there to support as well. Now in the front lines, it looks like the Plague Claw not doing too bad here, tearing into these Rangers, getting some pretty good value. The more Illyrian Reavers are coming down here. Theoden weeps tears of joy as these glorious elves come in and start decapitating Skaven slaves left, right and centre. But the High Elves are getting bunched up in this middle portion here. It looks like we do have that awesome flame storm effect coming down on top of the clan rats, doing some pretty good damage, getting those guys down to about half health, but there's nothing currently shutting down the Warplock Giselles here, which is a little bit rough. Noble pushing through the front line here, running over Skaven slaves. Illyrian Reavers as well going to be coming in for a nice road attack, but these guys certainly going to be gone. Fantastic Reaver play so far coming by the King, pushing these Skaven slaves all over the field, as the Archer Corps finally is now active. I'm not sure how long these guys have been firing for, but judging by the ammunition, they've only just really got in range. That poor Archmage is getting absolutely deleted though from those Warplock Giselles in long range, and Arcane Phoenix as well does not want to get trapped in by Rat Ogres, but does get back up into the air. Warplock Giselles have to be shut down here for the High Elves to get any sort of victory. Noble not doing too bad, but he is completely surrounded now by Rat Ogres and most likely going to be going down, which is a very annoying threat taken care of. And that Plague Claw Catapult doing some fantastic work onto the archers. Illyrian Reavers trying to get through the back lines here, and on top of the Plague Claw Catapult, they can move if they dart quickly. There's so much good targets here, as the Rat Ogres do look a little bit distracted by the front lines. Do hear a Manticore summon coming in, could either target the assassins or break into the back line, but the balance power very heavily Skaven favoured at the moment. Arcane Phoenix is relatively healthy, but these Illyrian Reavers need to get darting in and shutting down these sharpshooters where possible. Clan Rats did notice with these Rat Ogres as well about the Illyrian Reavers who need to get in here and shut these guys down, but do you try and preserve them or do you throw them in for a bit of a suicide death charge? Arcane Phoenix hopping on top of the Warplock Giselles, forcing them back before getting back up into the air once more. Archers are now starting to advance, but the front line looks like it has actually slowly been won by the force of the Skaven, just grinding out these Rangers who all have great kills, but that Plague Claw Catapult has been an absolute menace in the night, up to 81 kills. So Illyrian Reavers do start darting through the back lines, and trying to do damage where they can here. Those Rat Ogres though, what is there going to be left to take them down? So we still have the Mage of Beast, so Manticore Summons would certainly help, but the Noble is simply going to get pulled down, as well as the Archmage when she does decide to land. Coming in with the armour though, I really like the Armour of Stars here on top of the Archmage, going to help certainly up against Natty Boba sharpshooters and so forth. And the Reavers trying to punch the back line. It looks like some are coming in now to finally shut down the Plague Claw Catapult, but Rat Ogre is going to be darting over and shutting these guys down, and the High Elves are having a really rough time here. For Manticore, although it looks like he could assassinate the Grey Seer here, which would be really good play. I think he's got one more Manticore summon left. If he can shut down the Grey Seer here and start breaking the leadership of these Rat Ogres and so forth, I think there's certainly a way back into this game for the High Elves. At the moment, it is looking very, very rough. Illyrian Reavers coming in on top of the Beric Dondarrion Rats, flinging those guys to the side, but Rat Ogres once again, really good micro by Green so far, hopping on top and counter-charging Illyrian Reavers where possible. Archers slowly being forced back as well, but the Grey Seer is going down here, guys. He has very low leadership, and he is incredibly close to the edge of the battlefield. Not that close, but he's probably going to die, to be honest, before he even reaches there. Skaven are starting to dominate the battlefield for the most part, but if the High Elves can simply fall back and kind of regain their lines and composure, they need all these archers active, but it looks like the Archmage has unfortunately got trapped here down on the ground. Assassin's Trophy, Rival Talisman Hide, and she is certainly going to be deleted. And I think that will seal the fate here of the High Elves. Yes, they're going to be able to pull down the Grey Seer, but there's simply not enough left on the field for them, I don't think. More Archer Fire is starting to pepper in, but both the Warplock Giselles and the Natty Bobu sharpshooters are still relatively active. Looks like Clan Rats are chasing off the Rangers, and Illyrian Reavers are struggling as well a little bit here. Plague Claw Catapult launching a few shots in as well. Warplock Giselles not doing too bad. They can focus down the Mage now. Realistically, they just want to get this Noble off the field as quickly as possible. And it looks like the Grey Seer has been forced off now. There's still a very healthy Arcane Phoenix, but this beastie isn't it's relatively tanky, but it doesn't do the hugest amount of damage, and I think it's really going to struggle up against what's left here. I feel like sitting on this time. Done with stream hours, man. So I have to update my stream in a second. I think it's frozen again, unfortunately. On my phone, at least. So Warplock Giselles been run over by Illyrian Reavers, though. Noob for Life absolutely scrapping here. A true king doing some fantastic work. And I mean, a lot of the Skaven troops are starting to buckle and run. Effective cycle charging may be able to get him back into this one, but the Noble's running for the hills. Arcane Phoenix is taking a very interesting flight path there to get back to the main battle. But there's a lot of units which can rally, but they're all very beat up. Rangers and archers and so forth. And there's still a ton of Rat Ogres left. Plague Claw Catapult nearly have ammunition, but 125 kills is certainly something special. And then Reavers getting back here, doing some pretty decent damage overall, but are getting shut down by Clan Rats and so forth. Balance Power does start to move away. Warplock Giselles are running for the hills, but Natty Bobu still have a ton of ammunition left. But a big break on this flank for the Skaven as Rat Ogres do start to flee, and Spearmen can now push in, but it looks like armor losses is going to set in, unfortunately, for the High Elves. I think they maybe could have scrapped their way back in, but with the Assassins and the Rat Ogres, maybe this Arcane Phoenix certainly would have gone down. Cool. So yeah, archers, unfortunately, getting chased off by clan rats isn't going to be good for them. Spearmen as well, hopping on top of the natty baby sharpshooters. So we do take King of the Hill a bit lighter, of course, than tournament. So I'll see if One Noob for Life wants to do about this, if he thinks it was line camping, because I count this rock as the line, because it's terrain as close. The line's it goes through the line, so you can't physically fall back any further than this, and he couldn't really get through the back lines. But if he's got no complaints, I think we'll just carry on here. Arcane Phoenix, though, coming into the back line, going to shut down the Natty Baby sharpshooters. The play call Catapult is now out of ammunition, so might as well leave that alone. But army loss is setting in. Arcane Phoenix going to be coming down with its awesomely cool looking ability, but that is going to be game there. Has Pacta arrived yet? Unfortunately, he's still late at the moment. I'm sure he'll rock up kind of in the final game. You feel like it's now his time though? Why is A move? Hope you do good, man. Hope you enjoyed the stream, by the way. And you're enjoying this one, and you enjoyed your own stream. So, really fun build coming by New Life. I think it could certainly work. It does suffer a little bit from having very squishy targets for Giselles to punish. Of course, the Archmage and the Mage himself. So having your Lord such a big target which can be sniped is a bit of a problem, but I do like the counter with the armor, so it certainly is a possibility here. But the Ranger Rush, super fun stuff, as well as the Illyrian Reavers did some decent job. Unfortunately, Arcane Phoenix didn't really pay for himself, but still 25 kills, not the end of the world. As for Green, this was pretty damn deadly. Coming with that many Rat Ogres, play call catapults up to 129 kills, really shut down those archers and put pressure on the front line straight away. And it's always a pleasure to see the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Looks like New for Life, just let's say GG. True champ there, so GG. So we do have a new king here. So New for Life though, very impressive. Oh, Green sent me a message saying it looks like he actually heard my last bit there about the train. It's fine, man. So yeah, that map, I need to take that map out of tournaments and stuff, because people always get confused with the rock and the white line, but it is fine. So up next, we do have Ice Power. So if you are listening, man, feel free to hop in. New for Life, though, going out there with 3 victories, so he's definitely going to win the longest win streak today. But we'll see who will be king at the end. So Ice Power coming in here. Going to lower his score back down to 0, of course. He does not inherit the previous king's score. And Green is going to go 1 up. And here is Ice Power. Hey, bud. So, Raptor has given me a map. And I need to find it. So, it is Bleak Coast Isles North. Final game. So, this is a Raptor map. So it looks horrendous from the picture. Oh no! Is it all mist and shot blockers? Oh, Raptor, what have you done? What have you done? Hail the new king! Hail Green there. Oh wait, on this map. High Elves, Lizards, and looks like he's going to redecide. One in the map will be horrible in true Raptor form. So it should be good fun. Who's going to end the stream as king? Will Ice Powers come in and make Green's reign pretty short? Or Green manage to hold on and get a nicer 2-0 as well? Rip Green and Ice Power. Rip everyone. Hail the new king, Raptor, king of maps. I think is the true winner here. Ton of message on Discord, but I think we're good. Oh, Green apologising for saying that. That's fine, man. It's all good. It happens. Cool. Just going to quickly check Death Forward Summer, see if any of you boys have signed up. Looks like we already have 11, which is on good way. Oh, some big plays there as well. Got Suave coming in. Always good to see Suave in action. I'm going to hop back in here and see what they've picked. So it looks like Ice Power is banning High Elves and taking Coast, and Green taking Tomb Kings. Green already has a build ready as well. Straight out the gates here. Been waiting for this. So for those who don't know, King of the Hill I take a lot more chill than tournaments, of course. So the final map is always picked by Raptor, who's a big member of our Discord and a big supporter of the channel. He's a super nice guy and a very good player himself. But he has a you know, a sweet spot for the dreadful maps of the world, and it's always a horrible sight, unfortunately. So he has picked Bleak Coast Isles North. I do not think I've played this map before. Cool, looks like the boys are good to go. What's the time? If someone can tell me how long we've been streaming for, I'll see if we do a free-for-all at the end there. My mind kind of dying. Is Happy Puppy a she? She is indeed. I believe. I think so. That's what I've been told by the Extreme Meme Team crew. And she's Extreme Meme Team, so I assume she is. You don't like it, Ronan? I think Ronan loves this map a little too much. You just sign in for the DBD tourney? Yes, Ronan! One step off. You were one step off the finals last time. That's possible. I've actually been really enjoying the new format. It's a little bit stressful, organising that many people, but everyone's been really easy to manage so far, and it just allows more people to compete. So I think we're going to be sticking to that format for the foreseeable future. It does make it a bit tougher to qualify for the finals, but at the same time, you know, you get a nice taste of kind of, you know, top elite players and so forth. At least it's not an Aristo map. A move, trust me. Raptor is trying to take his poster. 79 minutes. We'll probably do a free-for-all afterwards. Probably. So long this game goes on for. Just need to go grab dinner and all that good stuff. But yes, for everyone watching, hope you are enjoying. Feel free to give the video a big old thumbs up if you do enjoy this good Total War Warhammer content. It super helps out, pushing the stream to more people and so forth. And of course, if you subscribe as well, you get to see this content all day, every day. My god, what is this? What is this glorious map? 2 horrible hills and an uphill battle to take down the king there. This is a disgusting map. This is horrible for the Counts. Maybe if they can shoot their opponents down, it might be a little bit better. And it looks like he's going to be planning to do just that. So the Usurper coming in, Ice Powers here. Just have 1 unit of Scurvy Dogs, 2 units, 4 units of Scurvy Dogs. All good stuff. Huge, cheap and cheerful front line. Zombie, Pirate, Deckhand mobs, some pole arms as well. These guys are going to be soaking up the damage and really letting the rest of the build deal the damage back. We have the Lamprey's Revenge, one of the most sticky and annoying units in the game. These guys have regeneration. Aquatic, of course, which is their main bonus, but they're incredibly tough and big pain. They've got nice little zombies on top as well, riding dirty with their big old cannons here, can do some pretty decent damage. We have a Gunnery Wight as well down here on the ground, and we're given extra ammunition to all these cannons. We have Count Noctilus as well on top of his gloriously mighty mount here. His peg leg's always pretty funny to me. But yeah, one of the most interesting mounts in the game, to be honest. Looks very cool. Here's gone for Captain Roth's Moondial, allowing him to summon in some more deckhand mobs. We have Ravestorm, Arcane Conduit, Invocation of the Heck, and Raise Dead, so all good stuff. We also have quad... oh no, it looks like 2 mortars... oh no, 4 mortars, so quad mortars indeed, protected by the Gunnery Wight. And looks like we have some Scurvy Dogs thinking of doing the long haul round here. So, for the forces of the Tomb King, so it looks like they may be able to catch one of the Scurvy Dogs. We have a couple of Carrion up in the skies, hidden in the trees, and then a real defensive formation himself. So, Skeleton Spearmen and Skeleton Warriors dotted in a nice long box all around here. We have Skeleton Horsemen, Eyes of the Desert as well, so regiment around Sneaky Snakes. These guys are a little bit squishy, but apart from that, they do huge, painful damage, both at long range and in combat. We have Skeleton Horsemen as well, the Blessed Legion as well, just a load more Skeleton Archers. So it looks like 2 snakes overall as well. So 1 basic, 1 Regiment of Renowned. But he is going to have to advance here. His attacking rules, of course. So Skeleton Archers are going to need to move down to get in range. We do have a Leech Priest, someone I don't get to see terribly often at all, of Nekakara here. So coming in with the Curse, so minus 60 armor, Incantation of Protection, as well as Incantation of Cursed Blades. And we have just a basic Tomb King on top of a kitty cat. This is pretty interesting stuff. Normally you see Cetra on top of here, of course, but he's a pretty cool model. Just kind of standing around there. He does have Reanimate, plus 16 leadership. Scorpion armor for that 22% damage resistance. That's very powerful. So when he gets below 50% health, he becomes super tanky. That's very nasty on top of the big kitty cat. And my will be done. And the Curse. So here's going to be advancing here. Looks like some of the Scurvy Dogs, unfortunately, getting caught out here by Carrion and just swooped upon. It does happen sometimes, unfortunately, when you... Vanguard deploy and so forth. But we have Scurvy Dogs moving up the right-hand flank. So it looks like the Tomb Kings are going to have to do the long trudge downhill, but they are going to have the hill advantage here as well. Good luck, have fun. Oh, we could see. Oh, I accidentally typed in there. As it looks like for the most part, Tomb Kings are going to be taking this left-hand approach and wrapping around. And the coast simply going to be moving up and firing some shots. Now, the mortars are going to be devastating up against this build. There's so much chaff for them to sink their teeth into and chew apart. Skodog's going to be lurking on the right-hand flank here. Looks like some horsemen are darted around, just searching to see if there are any more prey. Karen took a little bit of beating. They're going to be pretty key to hop on top of this mortar crew. And Ice Powers are going to have to be very careful as well to not ignore this big overflank on the left hand here. They could simply come around and crump on top of these mortars if he's not too careful. Count Oculus has scooted his boot up a little bit and is unleashing some shots here. Looks like into the Skeleton Warriors, up to 20 kills already. This is a huge overlord. I suppose he can't see through here. I'm assuming that all these units are counting as hidden for now, and this is going to be a very nasty surprise. But Green wants to make sure he doesn't appear with the Tomb King too early and reveal this position. And yeah, it's going to be nice though. I like this approach. So, Count Oculus still just chilling at the moment. Arcane Conduit has been popped, and he's lining up his shots. And let's see what he goes for. Boom! Cannons are coming in and targeting down the Skeleton Archers, which is a really good play here, as the mortars do start to unleash into the Skeleton Warriors and some fantastic damage off the bat. And it's going to come down to, I think, if these mortars can be protected or not. Polums certainly need to get their bums moving over onto this left-hand flank. But yeah, you can already see, like, the Skeleton Warriors in the front line already wavering. It's pretty disgusting stuff overall. Do you need a second? Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, over on this right-hand flank, Skodogs are being forced back by Skeleton Horsemen, who are doing a fantastic job here breaking down this flank. Second unit has moved back for a little bit more protection. It looks like the mortars do have enhanced ballistics, plus 60% accuracy and 20% reload skill. This front line's gone, I'm afraid. It's completely gone. So it's just going to get decimated. Watch this. Kaboosh. Skeletons just absolutely wrecked here. Noculus as well doing huge work. Looks like they're just going to summon as well, considered being popped down. But the main kind of force of the Tomb Kings is relatively safe here. It's going to come in a little bit in drips and drabs, of course, with the Sneaky Snakes being much faster. And some archers are being left behind here as well by Green, which could be a bit of a misplay. If the Coast, of course, can retaliate quickly enough. So it looks like Scodogs have hopped into the back line, going to be hunting down archers, which is a good play. There's only Skeleton Spearmen to stop them here, and they'll take a while to grind them down. Looks like the Big Kitty Cat has come into the front lines, deciding to stomp all over these zombie pirate deckhand mobs, but he's going to get a little bit punished here as well as he does come in. Mortar damage. Going to be going in onto the blobbed up Skeleton Spearmen here, I assume. Look at the glory, the glorious damage here of these mortars at work. On the right-hand flank, though, two Skeleton Horsemen has started to swoop in. Karen as well dropping down on top of the mortars. Lamprey's Revenge is a huge roadblock here, and it's basically a big free-throw as some deckhand mobs have been summoned as well, trying to drag down these units. But the mortars taking some huge damage here, and if these guys start to disintegrate, that could be a bye-bye, unfortunately, to the counts. In the back line, though, Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spearmen being absolutely decimated. Skodogs going to be running for the hills. They can actually lap up and around now and hunt down these Skeleton Archers if they're a little bit careful. Sneaky Snakes are starting to move over there, do some good work up against the Lamprey's Revenge, and Ushopti have been summoned in here as well, just to try and really mess up the mortars. It looks like for the most part he's going to be able to shut down two of them. Other two mortars doing okay though so far. Count Noculus is relatively happy, but to be honest, he's isolated as well. These snakes could even come over here and just circle him and just slowly start to drag him down here. These Skeleton Horsemen are pretty much gone, but of course being undead, this is why undead skirmishes are so goddamn painful. Normally, at this point, you know, if you had normal, like, Cav and so forth, they would have broken off the field way before they managed to take down the mortars, but because they're going to fight to the death, they've managed to pull down one mortar, and it looks like the second one may be not too long behind as well. Canoculus starting to take some of those long stinging shots from the snakes. Polums have started to surround the Tomb King, but he can simply walk away if he desires. Skeleton Spearmen are starting to move up, and Scodogs are going to be wrapping around and searching for foes. They do fantastic up against those archers, of course. So still a very nasty death blob here. Of course, the Lamprey's Revenge are still alive and kicking. It looks like this mortar is going to be able to stabilise. So still 3 mortars. I would just focus down the chaff still as much as possible, get rid of it, and then use the Lamprey's Revenge Noculus to take down the snakes and so forth from long range. But Count Noculus being staggered here and taking huge work is some really painful stuff. Lamprey's Revenge is going to start rolling into the eyes of the desert here just to try and pin them in as much as possible and save Count Noculus. Indication Heck has been popped down to him. And it looks like, are we getting another enhanced ballistics? We are. So we still have 3 mortars online. Popping in here and just desolating these Skeleton Warriors. It's going to be interesting to see the kills afterwards. And this is the problem with the long flank with a faction like Undead. It's coming in drips and drabs. So we still have Skeleton Spearmen coming in, 2 archers which have been useless all battle so far and haven't done any damage. Perhaps it's going to be coming clutch late game. Tomb King is going to be popping down the incantation of the Cursed Blades and hunting down Count Noctis, but he's simply going to waddle away. That is leaving both mortars pretty open here. The big blob has pushed forward. You cannot ignore these skeleton mortars in the front line and the big kitty cat. It's going to be tough going. Count Noctis is a decent duelist, but not the best, of course, on top of his mighty steed. And Skeleton Horseman going to be using their extra mobility here to loop up and around this big death blob and now shut down the mortars, which could be really game-breaking here. Looks like Vampire Deckham Mob's doing okay in the front line, going to hold back these undead for a decent amount of time, but the Tomb King himself doing a decent job overall holding the line. We have some summoned zombie pirate Deckham Mobs, really nice play here to try and pin in these skeleton horsemen, but they're simply going to ride through and eat up this mortar very, very quickly. Looks like Lamprey's Revenge as well, doing pretty good work so far. Both Sneaky Snakes are alive, they've turned and opened up with their long range attacks. And yeah, you're going to see the Lamprey's Revenge health just get absolutely nuked down here very, very quickly. The Tomb King does manage to retreat. It looks like his skeleton horsemen are going to get dragged down, unfortunately, for their efforts. The mortars have been saved once again. Noctis really needs to start focusing down the Eyes of the Desert and the normal Sneaky Snakes with his cannons, as they're going to be an absolute horror in the night to allow the mortars to clear everything up. So Pirate Deckham Mobs fighting strong, but they are starting to waver a little bit here as more mortars are launched over top. Coming into these archers now, can do some fantastic work. Scurvy Dogs as well, hopping in on those guys. Really close game, a fantastic one to end out here. Who is going to be king? It's pretty scary. The backline has been overrun time and time again for the Vampire Counts, but they've managed to rescue it with some really clutch summons coming in. Count Noctis is still relatively healthy. This Tomb King and Sneaky Snakes need to die though, and it looks like the Scurvy Dogs doing okay in the back line, but wavering a little bit themselves. But if they can pull down both these archers, that's really going to help the balance of power. The Tomb King has popped all his buffs here. That 44% physical resistance is so lovely. Sneaky Snakes though, being dragged into Deckham Mobs, not good at all. They're trying to get nice up and close and personal of Count Noctis, but he's a really tanky lord himself, and those polearms will do some fantastic work. Looks like the Tomb King is going to be trying to come over for the snipe. Mortars are super unprotected now. It looks like Gunnery White has been focused down at the Tomb King this entire time as well, getting in some pretty good work. Snakes are being forced to retreat here, which as you would expect, and the undead are starting to buckle here quite badly. Balance of power though is in the favour of the Counts. I realise I just said undead are starting to buckle here. I meant the Count's kind of main force is getting run over here by the Tomb King, which is going to be a little bit rough. Because, of course, when the mortars have zero protection, they can get dragged down very quickly, and it's going to come down to single entities, and I don't know if they have quite enough. Scurvy Dogs just getting shot here a little bit. They need to pop onto the Blessed like Legion again, I suppose. Although those guys look like they may be completely deleted here. Sneaky Snakes are starting to run out of ammunition as Deckham Mobs do start to chase them down. Mortars up to 160 and 131 kills on these two, which will probably get the most kills they've been shooting throughout the whole battle. But yeah, down goes the Legion. There's still a couple of units of Spearmen, but it's really going to come down to, is it enough to kill the Tomb King plus the double snakes? In his current health state, Count Noctis is probably going to be able to take down that Tomb King. But double snakes, oh, it's going to be some rough stuff. While I'm trying to chase them down, I mean, cannon fire to focus these guys down is actually a really good play at this point. And it looks like the vampires really pulling ahead. With leadership starting to waver, they have managed to rally a lot of this kind of middle section here, although a ton of these guys are starting to crumble. They need to get back here and just sit on top of these mortars at this point, and I think they'll have enough. Count Noctis can pull down the snakes from long range. Mortars will easily be able to clear up this chaff, so just fall back with all this. Don't let the Tomb King just walk all over you, as they do have 98 kills. But it looks like Green is going to withdraw, so he thinks it is game over. Without Happy Puppy, that was amazing. I'm actually a 65-year-old man without arthritis and Parkinson's. I would be the best player. I believe it. So the king has fallen. Ice Power, that awesome build of mortars here. 194, 169, 76 and 19 kills. Proving once and for all you do not need the high ground. It turns out Anakin was correct this entire time. Green was a brief reign, but a very powerful reign as king. Almost, I think it was simply the delayed engagement of kind of feeding troops into the meat grinder didn't work too well. He kind of lost his front line, which was going down the barrel, and then all the troops down the left-hand flank, they kind of came in drips and drabs. They weren't supported together. That kind of is largely, obviously, due to the map as well. But I do like the attempt of the big overload on the left-hand flank. Unfortunately, Tomb Kings, like all undead, are relatively slow. Count Noctis, true champion, managed to outlast the Tomb King very effectively, and helped take down some of those snakes at the end while the mortars just rained fire. It looks like the guys did pop out, but GG to both of those guys. So we are going to update the scoreboard here. So Green does unfortunately fall, and Ice Power is going to be this week's king with Noob for Life going on the best win streak as well. Legends never die with 3 kills there. So we are going to hop in for a very quick and fancy free-for-all. Oh hey, sorry, my game crashed. No worries. No worries, that was the last game. So looks like his game did crash at the end there. Just yeah. Just let him know. Dun, dun, dun. Oh god, it looks like... Well, Turin is also doing a King of the Hill. But luckily it is not quite yet, unfortunately, which is good. Cool. Not sure when that is going to be, but we'll be able to wrap up just before then. It's all cool, and you guys can hop over there and see some glorious action. So I was just streaming through my Discord there and having a little look to see what's going on. Yeah, hop in the free. So, we're going to get ice powers back for the free-for-all. Just going to message him quick. So we will... So we're going to do a free-for-all to end out the stream here. I will play it as well. I'll rehost. Because just to help with kind of lag as much as possible. First battle, blah, blah. So, guys, password is 123. First ones to join will get to play, of course. So, I'm going to invite back Ice Powers if I have him as a friend. I'm not sure if I do. So, as long as we get Ice Powers in here. There we go. Ooh, what map should we do? Let's go Troll Country. It's where we started. It's where we end this. You can see my last free-for-all build. We will change it up. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, guys. If you do want to hop in, feel free. And we'll get this cracking. So hopefully if you guys can see the lobby. It's called Ducky like 1, 2, 3. Looks like Darth Pendragon and someone are both loading at the same time. Hey chaps. So we will do 1 cup rules just to stop spam. Well, looks like Storm did leave, but I'm sure we'll hand back in a second. And what fun build do you want to guys see? Let me know in chat and I can design a pretty cool build. Enjoy seeing a little bit of fun. Don't forget the like button, memers. Indeed! Happy representing there. I'm sending you the perfect free-for-all for lizards in DM. Awesome! I'm on it. Dun, dun, dun. Where are you, happy buddy? Yes. Cool, so just Stormar messaged me. I think he's going to be admin for a tournament, which is some good fun. So happy puppy, when you send me the message, I will sort it out. It's going to be some glorious action indeed. Whatever that is, don't trust it. I'm doing it, man. It's going to be good. And let's see if we can get Storm back in here. Let's see if he can indeed join up. I want the Thunderous One or Croak. I demand! I demand. Whatever it is, I'm sure we'll try to get it to work. Looks like we do have more Coast coming with Ice Powers, so I assume he's a Vampire Coast main by the looks of it. Darth Pendragon here as well. I'll actually get up a Screen Blocker, which I'll just use that to show off the Death Forward Summit that is going to be this Thursday. If you want to join, link in the description down below. Awesome. Oh dear god. Oh dear god, happy puppy, really? Cool. Does the leader need to be on a mount, Red Puppy? That's the question here. Not sure how I'm going to share this, but nah, you bring nothing on him. Oh, I feel like a cold one would kind of fit. But we'll see. Okay, so this build, I don't know if you guys can see actually, hopefully not. Let me quickly check. Cool. Looks like You'll be able to see a little bit of what I pick, so let's just move that there. So add those, and then, oh god. So, I'll make sure I get the numbers right. Well, Happy Puppy swears she has won with this build before in a free-for-all, so... So 4 of those. Okay, I'm going to put the leader on a mount. Oh, we're still waiting for someone. It looks like we can't get a storm on in. So if anyone wants to join, you can still join up in. So I need to make sure this build's actually legal now that I've told everyone that it's Warhammer Cup rules. I don't want to end up breaking my own rules here. If not, I'll just make it as like rule close to what you wanted as possible. Cool, load them up now. I should know these off by heart, but I've played it so much, but... Go down to the Mighty Lizard Man. Yep, we're allowed 4 of each. Okay. Cool. Free. Well, single entity is probably good for us here. Looks like Stormrunner can't play, unfortunately. Let's check Discord, see if he missed anything. So he's gone offline. So if anyone else wants to hop in, Palpatine, Raptor, Ronin, any of you guys, you want to hop in, feel free. Or anyone just viewing. Password is 123, and it is Ducky King in the Hill, I believe. We're definitely going to see some dragons coming up from Daft Pen Dragon. I mean, he's called Daft Pen Dragon. Like, come on, be real with it. Of course, he is rocking the Knights of Caledor. Just always some good stuff. Yes, I see the subscriber rise count. Rise, brothers, rise. Let's see if he is indeed online. Try to get this going as fast as possible. If not, just go hop in, man. My PC is too slow to open the game in time. You can try, Ronan. We can just go the 3 of us if no one else joins quick enough. There's on a little bit of a clock here, as I need to get around the shop quickly. But, I don't know if David Whitelizard is still in chat, but I could always invite him if he wanted to go. No, someone is still here. He might have crashed, though. As he pops in for a second, and then it kind of lagged a bit, and he disappeared. Which would suck, but we'll try. If not, we'll just do a freeway. Which is equally cool. This build is hella glorious. I do have 19 gold spare, which I can't spend anywhere, unfortunately, but... It's going to be interesting. Kind of start bringing this on a ladder. I'll try. Keep going, Ronan. We'll get you in just a second if when you appear. Cool. We'll give Ronan a couple of minutes. If he can't pop in time, we'll just get going. But yeah, any questions, feel free to ask. This, of course, is going to be the last game of the stream. And yeah, last chance as well to obviously like, subscribe, all that kind of good standard YouTube stuff. And final reminder, of course, which is on the screen right now. Tournament coming this Thursday. If you want to compete, there's a link to my Discord and to the challenge page in the description down below. But enough of that. Let's hop in. We can't need 4 to start. That's goddamn true. Ronan is booting up. Ronan, you're going to have to build the world's quickest one. Or David, whichever you guys join first, man. The race is on. The race is on. The lobby is Ducky King of the Hill, password 123. The race will Ronan's slow laptop. He had the head start, but he has the slower computer. Who is going to be able to make it first? What's your guys' thoughts, by the way, on the DLC? Now, it's been out for a little while, because obviously people freak out straight away. It's, yeah, first come, first serve, David, so if you want to hop in, man, feel free. It's you versus Ronan on the race, dude. So, oh, looks like Ronan did, in fact, make it. Hey, sorry, David. We'll make sure we get you into the next one, bud. So, Ronan is making up the team here, representing the Extreme Meme team. But yeah, what's been your favourite unit now? The DLC has actually been released for a decent amount of time, because everyone freaks out about everything to start with and claims everything's OP or underpowered. I think it's relatively well balanced. I haven't actually run into, like, barely any Snotlin pump wagon kind of spam and stuff. Everyone told me that was going to be really OP to start with, but I haven't really seen much of it. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how like other people have kind of viewed it. I think it's relatively well balanced. There's a few changes I'd make. Teclis is stupidly tanky on top of that big bird with the amount of Winds of Magic he gets, and there's some slight kind of price changes I think need to come in. Apart from that, though, I think it's been pretty damn good. This build is indeed glorious. Glorious. Let's see. Cool. Actually, I don't know if this is Tournament League when I think about the numbers. How many do I get of you in a unit? Nah, it might be Tournament Legal. I can't remember how many... Do you need 300 units to make a Tournament Legal? I think we got roughly close to that. Good to go. Set them there, we're all good. What's up, Poison Ducky, man? You've made it for the last game, unfortunately. We have done a King of the Hill, which was won by several people. So, New for Life got the best win streak with Frey and Ice Powers managed to claim the crown at the very death, taking off Green, who had previously usurped the mighty New for Life himself. But that should be a ton. We're just going to end it out on with a free-for-all, so it's pretty quick stream, which is all good. I'm going to go grab some dinner and tune in and watch Tyrant's King of the Hill when it does start. I hope you're all good, champ. Poison Ducky, for those who don't know, which I'm sure you do know if you've been watching my YouTube channel for any kind of amount of time, is in fact a YouTuber himself. And a beastly one at that. Very, very good content, all kinds of Total War goodness. And of course he's a duck, which, you know, you can never be mad at a duck. We just eat bread, fight crime, and chill. I'm just waiting on Mr. Ice Powers here. I'm praying for no lag, but chat seems to be fine, so it can't be too bad. Let's quickly check Discord. Looks like we're all good for now. Hey, there he goes. We'll get this final battle cracking. Noob for Life is a champ. Noob for Life is a true champ. He's an OG of the channel as well. Don't worry guys, I'm aware there's a screen blocker as well. I'll get rid of it once I've loaded in fully. I'll try my best to not keep it up. As King of the Hills just started, the man has no respect. It's cool. I always cross stream somehow with Tyr, and it happens like every single tournament I try and do. But we do our best. But we've got the one game here to finish it off, and then I'll go over there, chill, and hop in. So let us quickly remove this. Boop. So Troll Country, of course we saw it earlier on in the stream. Nice hills in each corner, loads of trees as well for sneaky stabbings. But to be honest, our build is going to be either the greatest thing you've ever witnessed, or it's going to crumble horrendously. And considering the armies we're up against, I think we're going to struggle quite a lot. A lot of our units may be useless up against Darth Pendragon if he's brought a lot of Dragon Princes, as I suspect, with their fire resistance and so forth, as we have a lot of fire attacks. We have a ton of fire attacks in this build. But yeah, it's technically tournament legal if it has the numbers. That's the one thing I'm worried about. I think it's roughly close, but it ticks all the other boxes. It's cool. It is cool. Let's wait for the boys to load in. Don't worry about the loading in times at this point. It's not to do with anyone's internet connection or anything. It's simply how fast their computer's going to get up and running. Luckily I'm quite quick, so it just hops in straight away. So here we go. So we have Ice Powers to our left, which is the forces of the undead. Darth Pendragon across from us, and Ronin Skaven just here. I'm scared to go at any of them, so as you can see from my glorious forces, for our front line, wait, do we have enough troops? I think we roughly do, because it's like 50, 100, 200, 300. Yeah, we've got enough. Cool. So we have 4 units of Cold Ones, Feral Cold Ones in the front line. So these guys are actually just all on their way to the mating pits, but we kind of stopped by to see what's going on first. So we have 4 Feral Cold Ones, all gold chevron up to the max. We have 4 Razordon hunting packs just down here, including the Regiment of Renown version. So spiky doggos, decent AP, which will help certainly taking down, kind of high level forces and so forth. So 4 of them. We also have 4 of the salamanders, just chuck them over here for now, so you can guys look at these glorious models, including the Umbral Tide. So these guys are of course going to be invisible, and they're just generally badasses overall, doing some really nice fire damage, and yeah, all good fun stuff. We also, for our leader, simply have a red-crested skink chief, whose job it was, of course, to herd these animals towards the mating pit. So he's been caught up here a little bit. We're going to have to force his way through, but he looks so badass on a horned one. He's honestly one of my favourite models for like a lot of his animations and stuff, but you don't get to see him nearly enough. He is still pretty damn potent. But I think we're probably going to bomb rush Ronin here, I'd assume. Good luck, you'll need it. Coming for ya. Good luck, lads. Looks like everyone's having good fun. Can I see their troop numbers? No, I can't. So we're going to bomb rush the Skaven, I think. So let's have... Actually, let's use you guys in a secondary line so we can kind of counter the opponent. In the front line, we're going to have our... Oh. There we go. We'll have our sallies. Go up to the front line. Let's get a load of salamanders. We'll try and spread out as the game must go on. Razordons in the secondary line. You plot up in the middle. Let's get you guys a bit further back. So yeah, the glory is upon us. Best of luck, lads. We hunt. This is the cutest army possibly in Warhammer 2, look at them. No caster, man. Casters are overrated, man. So I'm actually playing a build Happy Puppy sent me. I'm playing a build. I'm going to let them know because I don't want them to think this is my build. So I'll let them know then he's quiver. But I'm going to ready up. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. We're going to do some glorious here. No, casters are overrated, man. We don't need them. We've got puppies and doggos of all kind of forms. I'm going to get demolished. Oh shit, it looks like those guys actually weren't ready. Oh, okay, no, 3 ready up. It's cool. Snooze you lose. The dreaded happy puppy. They're expecting more of a dread Saurian build, but the doggos have been unleashed here. Charge! So get these guys up to start countering. Push all my shots into those nightmares. Shots into those. So over here, lots of rat ogres, Skaven slaves. Oh, that's a lot of rat ogres. I mean, we would decimate them if we can hit them before they bomb rush us, but... Oh, that's a lot of night runners. Look at this horrible blob of force. Ronan is right. Let's pull back. Actually, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna be super treacherous here. We're gonna try and use our mobility. If we can escape the Skaven, so we can do a bit of a hit and run here, pull them back, and then we're trying. I fell back here and try and come over here. Oh my god, the dragons, and try and get some value elsewhere. So we just fall back with all our forces, hopefully. Looks like we're currently getting bogged down on each other and the rat ogres are chasing. Run! This might have been a terrible idea. We're gonna run. What speed do you guys have? You're pretty fast, I think. Oh no! Flee. Okay, so let's get you boys in here. Boys in here. No, I don't think we're gonna be able to outrun the rats. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. No! Right, Umbral side, annihilate them. Let's just chuck in the mix, mate. I'm going to try and pull back with these ones if possible. Okay, once we've cleared those fellbats, we can switch our front lines around as well. No, we shouldn't have retreated. I was hoping to run away and then come in and fight another day. Looks like we're a bit blobbed up here. Trying to get out, but those goddamn fellbats screwed us so hard. These guys, if possible. Screw it, we'll just keep shooting. Dragons where possible. No, I've let you down, happy puppy. Back over here if possible. Oh, god, the Lyran Reaver's coming in as well. Yeah, we're just completely mulched at this point. We can't even get any shots off, unfortunately, because of the angles. Just give it like 1 minute so we can just laugh and skirmish around over there. What kind of sick individual would kill puppies like this? I question the man Ronan is. He would hurt my little lizard doggos like this, but yeah. We should have retreated, we should have just taken the fight. I was hoping I was quick enough. I mean, we had just pure hunting packs, which would be kind of like a rockin' 70 speed. But it looks like rat ogres, let's see. I'll find a unit of rat ogres somewhere. 60 speed, we should have been able to escape. I think we got blobbed up too much coming through the trees and it really slowed us down. Let's fall back with you. Let's leg it as far away as possible for now. Try and get some cheeky points there. We're currently not lost, which is a good thing. Don't break. Fall back. Let's get legging it over this way if we can. So fall back. Fall back. God, those rat ogres are everywhere. So maybe I should try and save this situation. Those rat ogres somehow are catching the hunting threat. Speed 70. Oh no. 60. Yeah, we should be outrunning them. Avoiding that. Okay, no, come back. Okay, I'm gonna try and pull these guys apart. Save ourselves, save our poor puppers. Oh, these rat ogres are the bane of my existence right now. Some would argue we didn't have enough to protect our back line. I would argue that is heresy on the highest order. Right, we're just going to fillet. Trying to come over and have some fun over here. Come here, Skinky. No! I thought we would outrun him, but I guess, yeah, being blobbed up. Let's spam click our way out of this one. Like, we're being caught here by, like, death runners. Why, are our people, like, knackered or something? There's something I'm missing, I'm not sure what it is. Here you go, lads. Here you go. I know they have their charge animation and stuff, but we should be outpacing these guys for days. I guess, we've been poisoned? Like, slowing down. It looks like it's going to be a fight between Darth Pendragon's High Elves against the Skaven at the death. I mean, there's still a lot of big entities left. We've got Rotten Leviathans for ice power, but they haven't managed to accumulate much value, unfortunately, for them. And there's still a mage up here. There's... Oh my god, no! The Eternal One has been brought, the most powerful creature in the game. It's an unbreakable god of war. It looks like we have an Archmage of Life as well. So we're still running. Looks like we've managed to finally get a bit of distance. And I think we're just going to try and snipe this mage if possible. These poor Ron Leviathans are going to be caught between like a Death Runner mix here. Yeah, we definitely would have been better off going for the undead. They have so many large targets, we could have just fire burst. But I like to blame no one but Ronan and his hatred for puppies. You heard it here first. 2020, Ronan hates puppies. Unleash hell. Yes, look at that value. Look at that value, Rick up. Oh no, looks like they're having a real problems today. Those salamanders for some reason, like lining up shots and just not firing. It does happen. Unfortunately, they're pretty damn janky. Unfortunately. Look at these guys. They're all concealment bombs. Lap around. No, we've been spotted! We've been spotted! Yeah, Everqueen's Court Guard are annihilating us, unfortunately, on the way in. Oh dear god! Oh, the Armour of Stars just came out of nowhere! John Cena and Archmage here. We're just going to get to combat. Glorious showdown. We've had enough of these rats chasing us. We want some real action. Some health and chicken meat. But I'm afraid, lads, that is going to be us. Apologise to Head Puppy for the build I butchered. But it looks like Skaven, Ronan has all his forces still left alive. Destroyed mine. He's going to be certainly the one to take down here. However, Yimrath, the Eternal, is certainly not allowed. But he's brought him in, which is fine. So that's a fun way to end the stream. He's going to be coming in with that Star Dragon Breath. He's unbreakable as well. It's an unbreakable Star Dragon is some scary stuff indeed. And he's rocking a giant, over 6,000 health at this point, so he must start at over 7,000, which is pretty crazy stuff. Looks like Darth Pendragon going to be scrapping as much as he can. Undead forces are starting to go down here. Still has double Rotten Leviathan though, which can certainly help out. These poor little lizards, I will avenge them one day, indeed. Now confirmed and on display for all to see. It's true. Score based on kills. It is. What's up, Jack Ray? Hope you're doing all good, man. This is a really stupid just way to end, man. So if you've been watching kind of the King of the Hill, this is just a fun way to end it. So it's not going to relate to the King of the Hill anyway. It's just a free-for-all. The more damage you get, the more points you get. But if you're the last champ standing, you also get a bonus as well. So sometimes you can win by getting less points, and then it kind of bumps up at the end. But these Rotten Leviathans are going to get torn apart by the Master Dust Runners just over sheer amount of time. But the High Elves are looking pretty deadly. Looks like a little bit of lag has kicked in here. Which is unfortunate, but the Eternal One, yeah, he's going to be beat up quite comfortably. Archmage, though, I mean, the Skaven probably have this at this point. Darth Pendragon still has a lot of single entities, but there's so many rats left alive here after their nice little hunting trip. Rotten Leviathan being dragged down here slowly, but they're still doing okay. Their leadership, though, is what's going to worry me when they start to break. Looks like we do have a glorious burning head coming down, but it is only hitting rat ogres and so forth. It's not the best against single entities, of course, much better against the individuals. Did the dragon, like, bomb dive there or something? That looked really bizarre. Maybe it was just the wings, because he's so much bigger than all other dragons. But poor Mage of Fire is being routed off here and so close to the edge of the battlefield, there's no way he's going to be coming back. And the Eternal is surrounded by just sheer amounts of Rat Ogres and Death Runners. And Death Runners, of course, are going to be sundering that armour, making him a little bit weaker and allowing the Rat Ogres to really punch above their weight here. Down to just 50 armour. He's going to be pretty squishy. And I think that could sum it up. The Skaven defeating 2 armies at once here after death. All of these little throws coming in on the Royal Leviathan. There's no way Ice Power's going to be able to catch up on points, unfortunately. I'm sure there's some way we can rearrange this points down here and move up to the top. But the Eternal, he's not doing too bad. 2,900, but he is going to be getting dragged down here. There's just too many rats left, unfortunately. Looks like Royal Leviathans in slow-mo here. Looks like this glorious looking fellow. He's going to be clobbering some Skaven slaves, but they are slaves. They're there to die. They face much worse horrors than being eaten by a Royal Leviathan in their time, I'm sure. And my runner's just going to be constantly doing that consistent damage, poison these guys, slowing them down, and making their stats all a bit weaker. In comes the Archmage trying to save the day, but this poor dragon, down to 1,700 health, of course is unbreakable, which is a big pain to deal with. But Rat Ogres are chasing off Spearmen, which are completely shattered now, so they can come back to the main engagement. But yeah, Ronin certainly chewing up forces where he can. Suppose I would leave the Royal Leviathans for now, come over here, finish off the High Elves, and then come back to these guys later on. They're not too much of a threat. Dark Pin Dragon's certainly the only one who can catch him at this point. Don't know why it's lagging now, after we've been playing for so long, which was fine. I think it's just all us in chat. But we will see. Looks like some magic is coming down here. It looks like it's going to be a regrowth here on top of the Eternal, which is so deadly. Regrowth on a unbreakable dragon is pretty disgusting. I failed you, Duck. More important, you failed my puppies. It sounds like the start of like a movie, like a Kill Bill type movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Rats in action. I love it. Oh, is Aristo here? So you just said, wait, you being one of them, Aristo. Oh, there's Aristo, what's up? There's 15 streams going on. Yeah, sorry man, like the streams clash so bad today, it happens. I'm hoping, for the love of God, there is no ECL on Thursday. I'm doing my DBD tournament Thursday and it always clashes. I'm pretty sure Twin waits. He like lurks in my Discord and then bam, as soon as I pop a tournament, he's like, you know what, I'm going to pop the ECL today instead. But I'm all jokes aside, of course. It should be some good fun. So, got runners slowly taking these guys down. Don't know what, who's causing that lag here. No lag here. Lag is so defeating us here. Royal Leviathan is going down. I would leave to try and help situations, of course, and have any free plays in here, but I am streaming this. Royal Leviathan still going pretty strong here, but it's just getting more and more points here for Ronin. However, the regrowths on the Eternal are really coming in clutch. Maybe they can break this formation. If they can break the leadership here of these Rat Ogres, and as you can see, they're instantly going to run off the field just by tear outs at this point. So normally those guys, of course, would come back, but they're so close to the edge of the battlefield. If they can get the Eternal up in the air, do a big old fat breath attack down on Tretch Craventail, who I've just realised is in charge. He can certainly do some good work, but it looks like the Archmage is going to be routed here. And yeah, Skaven are starting to buckle all over the field. Perhaps Ice Powers could get the last man standing bonus. But Archmage starting to rally again. And the Knights of Kaldor fighting back pretty strong. The Everqueen's Court Guard are going to be 360 no scope and some shots into Gutter Runners, but they're certainly going to get clawed down. Sneaky stabbings are going to puncture their armour and drag them down, I'm afraid. And it looks like the highs are starting to fall here. The Eternal down to 74 health. Does he have a cool death animation? He just kind of collapses. He freezes time itself due to how powerful he is, it would seem. And it looks like he's going to be going down. And with that, it is going to sum it up, I'm afraid. The Archmage certainly going to break off the field here, and there's far, far, far too many rats left on the field. And even if the Leviathans do manage to drag them all down, the points gap is just too far, I think. Tretch literally full HP, indeed. These crabs are having a good time. Ice Power knows how to have a good time. Death Runners just didn't break. Nice pick. Yeah, Death Runners did good work. 0 HP lost. Here's OP. Tretch didn't take any damage. He's a absolute champ here. Trying his best. Taking down the Eternal One, who's down to 7 HP at this point. So still alive. Going strong. Undefeatable. The Archmage as well. Just kind of floating, bobbing up and down here in the skies. She herself is going down any second. The Eternal, can there be a clutch regrowth come in here and save the day? 7 hit points, still going strong. Nothing is hitting him, but in comes some more rat ogres and Clobber. You saw that right over the giant two-fisted strike, but the Eternal stands undefeated. The Lord does go down, and so does the mighty beast here. Flaps and wins, and for some reason I was expecting its skin to kind of deteriorate here. I played too much Skyrim back in the day, but has fallen there. It turns out Tretch is indeed the Dragon Ball. But yeah, it looks like the lag has subsided here. Not if Falcon Gang just dropped out. I think it's still here. This looks like it was a momentary thing. But yeah, all these Royal Leviathans are going to get surrounded here by the rat ogres, slowly dragged down. Looks like most of the ammunition is gone for the rats. But Ronin, a real dominant performance here, coming in and proving once and for all that if the Skaven simply, bounded together, or their opponents, in complete disarray, they could take over the world, which is certainly true in lore. They would easily be able to take over the world if they didn't keep, all the infighting and so forth. But both the Royal Leviathans going down now. They're crumbling, debilitated. It's not going to be a good day for them, though. 171 kills, 144 kills. It's been some pretty cool stuff overall. David, did we just play? I was to go over the Stone Troll blob. I love it. ESL has been delayed until they fix weapon type strength. Okay, I mean, it should hopefully be fixed by then. I'm hoping, because I know they've already played on a beta before, so hopefully that'll be up, but if not, we'll pursue anyway, and of course the finals will be when it's fixed. But all the competitive guys will know about the bug, so it's all good. Last run of Leviathan here, down to 1,800 health. See the rotting carcass of the second one back. But yeah, this poor crab, he's just going to be beaten to death here. Even for a undead crab, it's not a very nice way to go. But look at these glorious builds. Hope you guys did have a good time. That is going to end it for the stream here. I need to go get some food and then I'll tune into Turns King of the Hill, so I recommend going and checking that out. Sorry, burping a little bit there. But at the same time, you should definitely go check out Aristodemus' stream. He just did a charity stream for A Move Hacker over on Twitch. His name on there is Aristodemus2, with like the like 1-1, you know what I mean? The symbol, not the actual number 2. So go check out his Twitch channel, which is going to be really good. So go over there and see. And if you want to learn more about the charity fundraiser he is doing, we also did a charity fundraiser. If you go back a little bit, you'll see A Move versus the World charity stream, where you can get all that good information. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please do consider a like and a good old subscribe. If you want to get involved in these King of the Hills in the future tournaments, send me replays, and just hang out with a load of cool people, feel free to join the Discord down below. Anyway, guys, until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome. Oh, also, nice meeting you too. Have a puppy. I will see you guys soon. Already finished. Peace, peace. I know it's finished Aristo, but people can go and rewatch your stream, hopefully. But thanks, guys, for tuning in, and catch you later.